Hey everybody! Welcome to another video. This is gonna be another weird DSP video. Since he got that $2,000 on that one stream, and he did that massive card packing stream. I saw a little bit of it the other day, and it got me thinking, right? Because what was the one thing we kept hearing about ever since he started doing card packs, right? The value and the money and all this other shit. Like he started boiling down a lot of the criticism he got from the card community as them being jealous that he got like a super duper rare golden Pikachu card or whatever the fuck. And honestly, you if you look at like the criticism from other card communities, they're just saying like, "Hey, I think this is stupid what he's doing." Like that basically that's what they're saying. They're not saying like, uh "Oh my god, guys, DSP needs to be removed from the internet and he needs to lose his house." It's just, yeah, like this is kind of like greedy what he's doing. You know, whatever. I mean, these are just like opinions, right? Or criticisms of how he's doing card packs because he is getting paid to open card packs and he's not really giving anything. Like in his mind, he's rewarding them by uh opening them and being like, "Oh, look at this card." But again, like I talked about this in other videos and I feel like this is going to be a lot of reiteration, right? But uh he didn't want to do the One Piece cards initially because he didn't think that he thought that it was too expensive, but mostly there was no value in these cards. Like the paranoia he got over getting a reseal, like being like, "Oh my god, guys, that means that the hit cards are gone or whatever." And it's like I again, like when he first started doing the card packing, it sounded more that he was more interested in just the aspect of looking at the cards. So the value shouldn't really matter. But ever since the reseal debate, and then he was like, "See, guys, I know these are normal cards or whatever." Like he started talking about how he knows they're authentic now and all this other stuff ever since the reseal debacle. And since then, he just had. I swear, I think more of like him talking more about the value than the card itself. Like, I could find a figure that I have and tell you why I like that figure. Like, I'm just gonna look at a random figure there. I have this like Fallon from Dungeon Meshi figure. That's a really nice figure. It's like her in like a white dress. It's kind of a companion figure to this Marcella one I didn't get. And it's like, yeah, I like Dungeon Meshi. It's a great manga. Love the manga. The anime is great too, so it's like perfect. And I like I like her design. I like the design of Fallon. I like everything about it. I love when she becomes the Chimera. That's like another cool design choice. Like I can like go on and on about why I got that figure, why I like that figure, why I like the character, all this stuff. DSP gets a card. He's like, "I can't." Duh, it's Pikachu! Oh my god, dude, Pikachu! This is a hit! This is a hit! That's like all I think about when he opens these cards. Like there's like, "Oh, we got a dupe." He does say in some cases, to be fair, to throw him a bone, that he does say, "Oh, this is a nice looking card." He does say that, but it's always like it's not too far behind when he's talking about the value of the card. Like, "Oh, this looks nice. I wonder how much this is valued." Like, that's what he's talking about. And to the point where now it's like a debate. Is DSP gonna sell these cards? I think it's like right in the middle. Like, because he doesn't have to sell them online. Like, a lot of people think that he could. No. He could just go to GameStop and trade them in. Now, you may say, "But Theo, that's a scam." You think DSP DSP boasted about trading in games at GameStop? Like during the heyday of when he was white hot popular, in his own words, he, instead of giving the games to his fans, he traded them in at GameStop. Like he is not above getting scammed by GameStop. He's not above that. So he could go to GameStop, and people talk about Shane. He could go to Shane's too. I think so they probably maybe do that too. I'm not sure. I'm not into the card game, as you guys may know, but I don't think I think he could sell them. Like, he could just trade them in at GameStop and just get whatever value they give him, because I mean, whatever. Uh, the other thing that's very possible is that these will just be shoved into the closet and then forgotten with everything else, and I could kind of see him throwing them out too. Like, I'm not like opposed, because at the end of the day, what is more valuable about these cards? Now, not talking about the cards themselves, right? It's the people willing to buy in to this grift. Now, you may be asking, Theo, why are you doing this video? What do I mean by this, right? I also talk about this in a lot of videos, and I kind of want to go on a little expedition, if you will. I'm gonna go through Pig Go. I have two tabs open. One using Pig Go to search FGC. The other one searching Fighting Game Community. Fighting Game Community got like 8 pages. FGC got like 20 pages. So that's what I got to. I'm gonna go between the two. Whatever. I'm gonna go through them because I'm curious to see the rants he may have about young people entering the FGC. Because I've talked about this as well, and I kind of want to like do this little expedition to illustrate my point further. But look at how the card community is talking about DSP doing card packs, and how and DSP's reaction to that. Right, like, mostly the people in the card community, from what I'm to understand, again, this is like, through osmosis of other people, like, showing them, they're kind of like addressing it as like, DSP's only in it for the money. He's not in it for the love of the game. He doesn't care about the cards themselves. He doesn't care about any of that. He just cares about the value and all this other stuff. Like, anyone could kind of notice that. And of course, DSP is gonna get upset by this, because anything that's negative towards DSP is going to offend him. But look at how DSP describes people who are just starting in the FGC at some point in time, right? Like, this is how he talks about the fighting game community, people either within the community, people who are trying to enter the community, whatever. So we're just going to go through some of these videos. This may be a waste of time video, I'm just gonna warn you, so maybe grab some popcorn, relax, just have a chill time. This is gonna be a chill style video, right? So let's get right into it. I'm not gonna watch, this kind of stuff, because he does talk about the harassment in the FGC. We don't need to go into that, because, that's not that has nothing to do with my point of the video. And oddly enough, I will say this. That was probably the only time DSP stood up for, like, the FGC, or at least the young people who are just starting out, the new people who are just starting on the FGC, because he talks about, like, how a lot of the old heads or whatever are just telling people, like, oh, just deal with it, or whatever, and he's like, no, that's fuck that. Like, that's the only time, which, in and of itself is kind of, like, ridiculous, because, oh my god, this could be a video too. Dude, every time this dude talks about the FGC, it just gets me spiraling. But, because he now says, the FGC are a bunch of snowflakes. But then, back then, he's like, he is kind of, like, in solidarity, defending people who are calling it the harassment within the FGC, which, like, it makes sense, right? Like, hey, this shit's going on, you're gonna be against it, whatever. But ever since then, like, he never really had the same kind of, like, approach, but whatever. Again, that's a topic for another day. So we're just gonna go through some of these. I hate Chrome because if I click on something, it will literally open
Fighting game community. Phil, why don't you talk about this or that? This is the series where I do that, and I addressed a lot of common issues that are a lot of common questions that people ask me, and so I wish you would watch it, because I'm still getting Twitter questions, I'm still getting PMs on YouTube and comments on my videos. Gee, why didn't Phil talk about CISPA? Well, I did, It's just that for whatever reason, people don't seem to watch that series very often. So that is the series. If you have common questions, that's where you're going to want to check it out, okay? So I did Ask the King on Thursday, and then I did...
Okay, that was a waste of time. Not a good start. We're not off to a good start, unfortunately.
In the fighting game community. Like, are you still
great camera,
great
camera, man.
Do you watch tournament streams at all? I'm asking because you can watch tournament streams and learn things about new fighting games, like the newest version of Street Fighter 4 or Injustice, and you could probably get better at the games if you did that. But he said, but whatever you do, still do not play Ultimate Marvel 3. The game is still terrible. And that's from Diego HD. Listen. There was a time in my life when I was all about competition, and I was all about, I want to win tournaments. And I'll be honest, every once in a while I still get the competitive bug, whether I'm playing the fighting game online, or I think back to the times when I was playing Super Turbo, or even Marvel vs. Capcom 1 or 2, and that kind of stuff in a tournament setting. And I get the itch. Ooh,
wait, what was the question?
Listen.
There
was better at the games if you did that. But he said, but whatever you do, still do not play Ultimate Marvel 3. The game is still terrible. And that's from Diego HD. Listen. There was a time in my life.
I'm not listening to this. Listen. I kind of started this yesterday, and I could have sworn I found like a good video to start off from, and now I'm like not finding it.
Who are in the fighting game community, or if you know about fighting games, you're going to understand why I'm saying this. To which I'm like, uh-oh. And I don't know what they're going to do to really throw themselves into the fighting game market. However, it's an Xbox One exclusive. I'm saying this. All the negative press around Microsoft and the Xbox One right now is regarding the game. The game has to be tied to an Xbox.
Okay, this is talking about that. Okay, we're moving past this. As I said, this is a expedition. We're traversing
in the competitive fighting game community.
Oh my God, this shirt.
With player collusion. You might be saying, what is player collusion? What does that mean?
What does that
What
mean?
it means is that in any kind of a competitive situation, it could be sports, it could be any kind of a competition, okay? The players don't play for real. They don't play to their utmost. They're not really trying to win. The outcome is predetermined, okay? And there's usually some behind-the-scenes agreement between the players, all right? A lot of the times it's like a money split, or some kind of a situation, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Okay, this is such a crazy accusation. Like, I don't know the context. I kind of want to rewind a little bit just to hear the context, because that's...
One general question, a bunch of people asked me this. They said, are you going to play Dragon Age Origins, where I'm not just playing one game at a time? However, there's no time to do it right now. It's coming out, the new consoles, the hilarity and the acquisition. Maybe next
we went to collusion. I rewind, and he's talking about Dragon Age.
Year, you know what I mean? During downtime, about the current situation going on in the competitive fighting game community.
Okay, here we go.
This next one is funny. A couple people asked me about this one too. They said, what do I feel about the current situation going on in the competitive fighting game community with player collusion? You might be saying, what is player collusion? Don't play for real.
Okay.
They don't play to their utmost. They're not really trying to win. The outcome is predetermined, okay? I'll scratch yours, okay? And basically it's meant to throw the outcome of what's going on.
But what is that?
So,
what happened in 2013?
In football, if they're behind the scenes, they took a big payout, and of course that throws off the results of the game.
Okay.
Players in that community who are...
Dude, even back then he did this shit. Phil, what do you think about the player collusion EVA? Okay, so collusion. Back when football wasn't like, we don't need that. Just answer the question.
Who are buddy-buddy. Oh, we're buddy-buddy. And when they go to tournaments, they're not...
Like, even back then, these almost feel like bait questions. Even back then, this feels like a bait question. And you would argue there's probably more genuine fans in 2013 than there are now, and he still feels like he's getting baited.
Actually playing to their utmost. They're throwing matches, they're picking characters who normally they wouldn't even pick as a character in a tournament, and they're throwing the outcomes of the matches, and then come to find out, behind the scenes, they're splitting the pot.
So instead of one guy winning and getting first place and one guy getting second and taking a huge cut of what he would have won if he got first, they're playing it safe and saying, well, we'll both take that middle ground amount of money and then we'll just fake the finals. This recently just happened at a, I think it was called Battlegrounds tournament between Sanford Kelly and Chris G. Apparently Sanford picked up character, I think Boxer, who he doesn't really pick
Boxer?
in tournament play, or he would never pick in that situation. And immediately they said this is player collusion. Why is he doing this? Not countermat. You know what I mean? Like, why, now they're going to pretend like they're playing the finals, and then they're just going to split the money behind the scenes. So Spooky, you know, Spooky's been around the block. He's been around for quite some time. He's been a major part of the fighting game community for the past several years, giving them for completely free live streams of these events.
Oh my god, this is even funnier. Think about his modern day FGC rants. This is back in 2013, and there's this huge drama about player collusion. That's not even at Evo, it was at like Battleground, which is like, are they still doing that now? I don't know. But he would act as if this is going on now, but it happened back then. Is it still going on now? I don't think so, but whatever.
And he wants legit gameplay. He doesn't want these players acting like dicks and making it this exclusive community where, oh, if you're a top player, come on in and you'll all make more money because we're going to do all these dirty things behind the scenes. That completely ruins the competitive spirit of a tournament, okay? Spooky saw this was happening in the finals of the tournament. He shut down his stream and he walked out. He said, fuck this tournament. I don't care what you guys do for the finals. You could split the money. You could play it out. You could not play it. I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving. And you know what? That was a respectable decision from someone who's been around the block, and he knows that this is bullshit going on, and he's not going to put up with it. But here's the bottom line. This has been going on since fighting games ever started having tournaments. And
okay, this is even funnier. Jesus, I am so glad I'm doing this video now. I doubted myself too early. Oh my god, this dude. It was like, back then, we never did this. There was no one was doing it for the money. Everyone did it for the love of the game, grassroots. And in this video, he's like, yeah, we always did it for the money back then. Listen to this.
On the block, and he knows that this is bullshit going on, and he's not going to put up with it. But here's the bottom line. This has been going on since fighting games ever started having tournaments, and I have definitive proof of it, all right? As far back as, a lot of you might know what I'm talking about, and a bunch of you are not. There was a documentary made in the 1990s regarding the West Coast, California, all right, fighting game community. It was called Bang the Machine. And what it did, it followed this group of specific top players through their efforts at local tournaments and such to make a qualifying team to be Team USA to fly out to Japan and participate in a exclusive US versus Japan exhibition match at a major tournament in Japan. And it was a series of tournaments where you had to win and get certain placings, and you would rank up ranking points, and at the end the people who had the highest ranking points which were qualified for this team. It is well documented that there was player collusion. It was funny because this guy is the most well-known player for a certain game. He gets third place, and it's funny because the people who got second and first are his buddies who were trying to get onto the team, and they needed more points, all right? It was well documented that this happened. It was massive player collusion, and it was factually proven that this happened. Now we're talking, what, 15 years ago this happened? I've been to tournaments where this happens all the time. Sometimes it was so bad, right? It got so bad at one point, you'd have these top players who always win tournaments. They wouldn't even play the finals. They'd say, well, thanks for coming, everyone, but there's no finals. We're just splitting the pot. To which everyone would be like, what the fuck? What kind of a competition is this where you don't even have finals because these guys just want to share money? Because basically, they're not in the real spirit of competition.
I don't know if this even happened. This is, again, this is interesting.
They're doing it for the money.
Like,
and unfortunately,
as I said, these was not a very reliable narrator. Like, you'd probably have to like kind of go back and see what this was all about.
This is what happens when you get this kind of good old boys club mentality.
But again, he is saying this happened back then. And you fast forward to today, and he's acting as if this stuff is going on now. Like, he always frames it like everyone in the FGC back in the day, we all loved the game, we all loved fighting each other. Oh my god, we didn't care about the money. There was no money. And now suddenly, like, and he's like, but today everyone's about the money. Teams, sponsorships, money, money, money. And then you go into these videos and it's like, yeah, guys, people are about the money. Like, I just love how, like, loose this is. And again, this is what kind of, like, devalues his opinion. Like, in my opinion, like, this is kind of what makes him a unreliable narrator, even retroactively, because if this was such a big deal, wouldn't he still be talking about this when he's talking about the new FGC? Like, yeah, man, like, back in the day, they did all this stuff for the money, and it was fucked up, and it seems like nothing changed, man. Like, you think that's what he'd say, that the FGC never changed, it's always about the money, but no, he always talks about how back in the day, the old FGC did it for the love of the game. Like, it's the same tired, like, wrestling story all the time. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. This guy, it's like he watches so much TV that he lives with TV. Like, it's with everything. You listen to him talk about anything, and it just sounds like a sitcom. Oh my god, guys, this guy did it for the love of the art, and then he became a sellout, and he forgot where he came from, and it's like, dude, like, people sell out, but they also are honest with the work that they do. Like, just because someone has a sponsorship doesn't mean that they're sellouts. They become that if it's like, if they're doing like a video about like automatons, right? Let's say I'm doing a video on an automaton, whatever, and I'm sponsored by an automaton. Yeah, you may think, Theo might have his opinion bought out by by big automaton. But that's not what's going on. Like, people get like a sponsorship from like a food delivery service, whatever. But the video that they're talking about is like about flock cameras or whatever. It's like, yeah, I don't think like this food industry is like buying the guy out to talk about flock cameras. Like, that doesn't make any sense in the grand scheme of things. But he like paints everything the same way. The second you get sponsored, immediately you're a sellout. Like, there are cases of that, sure, but as I said with everything, like, you have to kind of like watch people that you trust, whatever. Like, whatever. Go with who you believe, right?
Mentality. We're the top guys. We all help each other out to stay on top. Fuck everybody else. Who cares if you care about the actual competitive spirit of the game? We don't care. We're only doing it for the money and for the celebrity. So fuck you. We'll walk home and take a bigger pot rather than chance that I get second or third place. It's absolutely immoral. It's absolutely detestable from anyone who competitively participates in anything, all right? But the problem is, unlike professional sports, in professional sports, there's a regulating body. There is an authority in professional sports.
Oh my god, this is another... Dude. He was... Oh my god, I forgot the exact rant. I just remember it, like, vaguely, because he said, the moment you become a professional, you're in for the money. He said some shit like that, like, professional means you're doing it for the money. But here he's like, yeah, in professional sports there's a regulating body and this and that. But now he's shaming people who, like, he mocked people who call themselves professional fighting game players. And it's, like, everything about how he talks about the FGC, like, again, this isn't going to be the through line. Just keep it in the back of your mind. The way he talks about the FGC, he will dog on literally anybody who wants to be an up-and-coming fighting game player or whatever. Like, you play fighting games, you want to go to a tournament, whatever. He is going to at least accuse you of only doing it for the money. You only want to train and learn the game, get good at the game, master playing online or whatever, just so you can make money. It's not about the love of the game, which is, like, really kind of silly. Because, I mean, sure, there might be some people who stick with modern fighters because they want to, like, keep current and all that kind of shit. Like, that is, like, things that people do. Like, that's why, like, Strive has a healthy player base, because there's just enough people that are willing to play because it's the most modern iteration of Guilty Gear. Yeah, there are still people who still play XX, Exard, whatever. I'm sure there's people who still play Sign. I'm sure there are. Even though, like, why play Sign when you can play Revelator too? But, there are people who are still playing these old games and all this kind of stuff. Like, but he'll still say that, oh, you're doing it for the love of the money, when maybe people just love the game and they want to do tournaments because they just want to see how far they'll go. Like, all the stuff that surrounds it may just be there, just there, right?
That investigates, suspected collusion and will call people out on it and even fine or fire people from their jobs. The problem is the fighting game community has no regulatory body. So people can do this shit, and what's to stop them? So Sanford and Chris G colluded on the finals, probably split the pot money. What negative thing happened to them besides a little bit of negative press on the internet for people who were a little bit more honorable?
That can't be Arturo.
It doesn't hurt them at all, and there's no one to say, well, fuck you, now you're banned from 20 tournaments. You know what I mean? And those tournament organizers who are desperate for headcount, they're not going to say, oh, I'm banning these two top players. No, because those top players, in a way, are a draw to their tournament. If I know that Sanford and Chris G are there, I want to go there because I want to see them play. So it's a big negative right now. It's a slippery slope. Do you allow it? Do you not allow it? I always was the kind of person that did not allow it when I ran tournaments, all right? But I know for a fact there were top tournaments that allowed it, which is absolutely ridiculous that they would as being a tournament organizer. Oh, apparently people are saying Chris G was banned from another tournament. All right, fine. Is he going to be banned from all tournaments, especially because he's like one of the top players in Marvel 3? You know what I mean?
But it's funny. He mocks the community for like being about the money and all this stuff. Yet they banned Chris G in this time period. So there was clearly a movement to stop this.
There needs to be a regulatory authority who's trusted to be this independent party who can investigate stuff like this. And if there is a consequence, go out, reach out to the tournament community and say, listen, we know this isn't pro sports, but this is serious business. You now have thousands of people who follow this stuff like this.
Right.
And if there is a consequence, go out, reach out to the tournament community and say, listen, we know this isn't pro sports, but this is serious business. You now have thousands of people who follow this stuff on streams, who are trying to get into the competitive scene.
I mean, yeah, if this community wants to be taken seriously, they'll do this. Now, I guarantee you, if, let's say, there is a regulatory body that he said he wants in this video in 2013, I guarantee 2026 DSP would say that's stupid.
Oh my god, they formed a regulatory body for the FTC. Now think about this. Back then, people did it for the love of the game. And there's no money. The second money was involved. Now we need a regulatory body. See, no one plays fighting games for the love of it anymore.
Because this guy is so dedicated to like trying to be like this like retired fighter. Oh my god, back when I was a fighter in the heyday, like we loved it. But now not so much. Like a washed up fucking wrestler or a boxer criticizing modern day boxing. Like, I mean, it's like what happened with the World Cup this year, that they added like hydrogen breaks. So I'm sure there's some like retired soccer player. I mean, I think FIFA said they're not doing that anymore because the backlash was so bad. But like, I'm sure at one point during the heyday of this, they're like, yeah, back in my day, we just played the game. We didn't have these hydration breaks for ads and all this shit. Like, I mean, I'm sure that, like, a lot of, like, people who retired in sports have criticized modern sports for this. But get this, it's not related to the people who are playing the game. Like, these criticisms about money chasing and all this stuff is always, like, in service of criticizing, like, I don't want to say organizers, but I don't think they have the power to do this. But like companies like Sony, now that they run Evo, I guess now it's Saudi Arabia, but like you know what I mean. Like it's these like bodies that are making it more about the money. Like the corporation will come in and be like, "Hey, you want this space? Guy gets sponsored, whatever." But the people who are participating in just playing the game, these people are not in it for the money. I mean, they may want to win for the money, but they also are loving the game too. Like, it's a little bit more, like, multifaceted because there's a lot of cogs in the machine here.
An e-sport, so why aren't we serious when it comes to regulating it, all right? There needs to be concrete consequences for people who cheat, and collusion is cheating. It's cheating to get more money, and it's a disgusting, despicable practice.
But there is.
That's my
she
feeling
got
on the
banned.
subject.
But whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to go through very quickly some Twitter questions and some Facebook questions. Would you consider doing a face cam for other games outside of the Demon's
let's hear
Souls
this.
playthrough that I'm doing right now? I don't know, and the reason is, number one, it's actually difficult to set up a face cam that's synced properly. If you've actually been
Oh my god, it's so difficult.
watching the Demon's Souls playthrough, you'll know that the face cam desyncs regularly, and then I have to keep restarting it. It's very frustrating. Number two, I don't know if it adds anything. A lot of people have even said, why am I doing the face cam for Demon's
It adds a lot. Okay, shut up.
It adds a lot. Okay.
Alright, let's go to this. I may skip around a little bit more, by the way, but let's just
be all about the fighting
do
game
this.
community and about my history in the fighting game community. I'm going to talk about some of my days when I traveled for tournaments. I'm going to talk about some of my greatest accomplishments and my crappiest fumbles and foibles, including losing $1,000 money matches. And no, that's not a joke. I'm not embarrassed. I just... it was
Oh, money! Oh my god, it's so funny. When he talks about it now, you would think there was, like, no money at all. But he's talking about, like, $1,000 money matches as if that money is nothing. Because I guess that's what it is. Like, yeah, you're not making a lot of money. And I guess, like, now the money you get when you win is, like, more than 1,000. But 1,000's still, like, a lot of money. Like, he's... Like, I kind of think it's a little silly to write it off. Like, yeah, I mean, you can't live off of $1,000 for the rest of your life and not work a single day in your life. I mean, that'd be... Like, what kind of world would that be? But 1,000 is definitely more than, like, $50. Like, he downplays $1,000 so hard. Like, you don't have to, like, fucking sell your soul for $1,000 and suck dick for it, but... I mean, he's acting as if like $1,000 is like chump change. Like, oh, it's like a penny on the ground. Like, I've never seen anyone talk about $1,000 like that. And then you go to this, it's like, yeah, I lost $1,000. Yeah, I'm not joking. That's crazy.
It was pretty bad. And that's the problem with competition, is you get addicted to it so much that you start making crazy gambles and stuff. And let's just say my betting history in fighting games hasn't turned out so well. It's going to be really good back in the day.
Oh my god. Dude. It's killing me. How true the statement is that anything he says it ages worse than milk. Milk ages better than DSP's comments, because, like, this is so and it's ironic too. It's very ironic because, like, now when you look at the cards, like, he's buying so many packs. Like, he bought Yu-Gi-Oh packs. He bought Yu-Gi-Oh, and he fucking sat there like, I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. Like, oh my god, dude, I don't even buy. There's like cool figures. I don't buy them because I don't know what these characters are. Like, all the figures I own is shit that I'm, like, aware of. Like, I watch, I play, I look at, whatever. I don't buy figures about shit that I don't even know. And this guy is like, yeah, I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, so I'm gonna buy it so we can do some pack rips. And then you go to this, and it's like, you know his addictive personality. He's so addicted to games. That's why I don't really like blind boxes. Like, I get the allure of them, especially if they're cheap, right? Like, I get them if it's like, oh, $5, you know what you're gonna get, whatever. So I'm not, like, wholly opposed to them, but I never really go out of my way for them. Like, if it's just like, yeah, I'd much rather get, like, a figure I know I want than, like, oh, blind box. And then it's like, if the selection is like characters I like, that's one thing. But if it's like, yeah, you can get garbage or one thing you may like, it's like, okay, no thanks.
In the day segment, it's going to have lots of insight into my history as a fighting game player. I think you're really going to enjoy it if you're into that, okay?
Okay.
But, you know, we're also going to address all the gaming news and stuff that happens this week. I'm not exactly sure what.
Okay, this was just a summary of what he's gonna talk about. Final co-op and what? Remnants of the tourney days. The tourney days.
The poster boy for like the
Fighting
What?
game community.
in a lot of ways, yeah.
Holy shit, Rambo was in the pre-stream? But I think this was for smart guys, but maybe. No. I don't know.
'Cause you
I'll
just
wander the
gotta-
country with nothing but my joystick and a few
the
clothes on my back.
Just the challenge. It's all about the.
Going all
I
around
love
the
that they're not on Facecam doing this. Like,
country, facing opponents
It's all about the fight, right?
at different tournaments.
oh my god, dude, it's crazy. This almost sounds more like a podcast than
It's
anything
odd.
else.
It is odd. You think about it.
Pretty funny. So you've been to 14 Street Fighter tournaments this year. Do you own a bed? No.
No, but I won this
No.
local tournament in Minneapolis.
Oh my god, dude, there's so much chemistry between them. More so than fucking him and Kat. Him and Kat is like, hello, I'm Kat. Hi, Kat. Bleh. Like, that's it.
Towards anyone during the fight in the fighting game community, and I'd like to make that
What the fuck?
seriously. You
Hold
know,
up.
It is what it is. There's gonna be some people who like.
What is this image? What the fuck is this image? I gotta take a picture. I'm gonna like I have to figure this out. What is this? Who is the person he's next to? Like, at a glance, I almost thought that was Leanna. Or I almost thought it was Kat. I was like, what the fuck? But this is an ancient video. What the fuck?
Like me and some people who hate me for various reasons. I really have no ill will towards anyone during the fight in the fighting game community, and I'd like to make that abundantly clear right here. There's no one who I like, oh my god, they've talked shit about me over the years and I hate them. I could care less. You know? To each their own. And if they've stuck with Street Fighter and or fighting games and that's kind of been their thing, awesome for them. For me, I certainly wanted to
Okay, I'm not listening to that. That's like fake Phil right there. Like pure fake Phil. Because he's like saying goodbye, so of course like yeah, like he acts as if he's like going off into the sunset. Where yeah, you don't want to end it by saying, yeah, eat my dick, bitch, you fucking suck. But then like after this, he would go on to shit on the FGC anyway. Amazing, amazing stuff.
disgusting photo in the fighting game community. Don't look it up.
Wait, what?
You're a combo master. I'm a combo master. Did you know that? I am the combo master. That brings back terrifying memories of a disgusting photo in the fighting game community. Don't look it up. You'll be very fucking disturbed.
What?
I'm serious. Don't look up combo master in the fighting game community. It's disgusting. All right. So
Okay, I'll take his word for it and not look it up. I'm not gonna look it up, guys. Don't tell me what the fuck it means. I'm not doing that.
And a lot of the fighting game community did not like me for that because they said, here's a guy who's not even a tournament winner, and here we are trying to be full-time gamers, and we're barely scraping by trying to win tournaments and shit to pay our bills, while Phil is just uploading casual matches to YouTube, and he's known for fighting games, and he makes a living doing it. That's not fair. And a lot of people in the fighting game community hate me for that. I can't help that. I can't help natural jealousy over success. I just can't. You know, it happens.
Jealousy
It's
over
not like I planned
success.
for this or anything. It all just kind of fell into my lap, and I've been doing it, you know, full time for a while now. And you know, certainly,
Man, it seems like every time Phil does something, people get mad. He takes a shit. People are like, "Wow, man, I can't believe you took a shit."
of the fighting game community, there's no way. I can't even start to defend these practices. They're insane. It's like, how do you piss the customer off constantly?
What?
In I think it was either late February or early March, and they said that the servers would be up at 5 p.m. Guess what time they actually went up? 9 p.m.
Okay, he crushed out a lot about Street Fighter V, like to like ridiculous amounts. We're just gonna like fast forward a lot, by the way. I'm not going through every single video bit by bit.
Newcomer to the fighting game community, and I had to either learn Tekken or Street Fighter V. Which would I learn? Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V is a kid's game. Sorry,
What the fuck?
it's not out here, so that sucks. But in regards to the fighting game community, and I had to either learn Tekken.
I think the question was like, I'm learning. I want to be in the FGC. What
Super
game should I
Cup
learn?
Asked if you were a newcomer to the fighting game community, and I had to either learn Tekken or Street Fighter V. Which would I learn? Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V is a kid's game.
I kind of like that he's not even like saying, "Oh, I would like." Oh my god, dude! I fucking like. Oh my god, dude! This video is becoming all kinds of things. I don't know. I don't know what to even think about this video anymore. I'm lost. But this dude rants so much about how he likes smart games and he wants to play all this. This alludes to like how like he thinks like Tekken's like a high skill level game and Street Fighter 5 is for babies. And he's saying if he's doing he'd pick Street Fighter 5. But it's just another petty excuse to shit on Street Fighter 5. Like it really comes full circle. Like Street Fighter 5 may not have been like the best fighting game or the best Street Fighter game, like whatever. But you know, people played it and people can have fun with it. It's a video game after all. But this guy is sitting there like, yeah, I'd pick this game because it's a baby game. Oh, so you wouldn't pick a game where you would have to learn and maybe more like rewarding to learn something high level, like that you claim to love so much. It's just I guess I'm attacking this because it's such an unserious question. Because he does this a lot. It drives me up the wall when he does like the stupid, like facetious, like, okay guys, that's a Q&A. And then people are like, Phil, which console do you like?
I like consoles. I hate gaming.
And it's like, oh my god, fucking like drink bleach. Like it's just not funny. Like it would be funny if I was like 2 years old or like, you know, whatever, but it's just annoying. And especially from a guy that's not even funny. Like it's not even clever facetiousness. Like, you know, like Theo, what do you like? Switch 2 or PlayStation 5, and I can say I like the Switch 2 because I can still I don't know. You know, maybe I'm not that clever either. I don't know. I can't think of a joke rebuttal because it would probably be like, "Oh, I like Nintendo GameCube." And then it's like, you know, probably be just as cringe as whatever DSP would say, right? But whatever.
Sorry, it is. Street Fighter V is a kid's game because you don't have to play it reactionary at all because the game is already so delayed with input lag, even with the changes they've made, that it's an easier, overall, a much easier game to learn. Tekken has been out for so long, it's actually quite hard at this point to learn Tekken and do anything at a competitive level. You need to have, like, iterations, entire games of knowledge in the back of your head. The 3D plane side.
Oh my god, I'm not listening to this. That's like fucking insane. I don't think you need to play Tekken 1 through 6 at the time. Yeah, I think Tekken 7 was either out or coming out. But I don't think you need to play Tekken 1 through 6 to play Tekken 7. Call me crazy. I don't think you need to know that I don't think you need to know that much to play that game. Maybe I'm a scrub, but I don't think you need to know that.
Memory about the fighting game community, I would probably say
What was the question?
is rep Maryland, Virginia together, right? Yeah, I mean, what's my best or favorite memory about the fighting game community? I would probably say two things. Number one, just hanging out with people. And I had various different fighting game friends. I had fighting game friends that were just from Connecticut. Then I had fighting game friends.
Okay.
Like, even though we were like local rivals, as soon as we reached out to the bigger picture, like the national scene, or we went to a major tournament, we became a team of people who wanted to help and support each other to win because we wanted our region to be represented properly when we went to those events. The camaraderie, hanging
Okay.
a million stories. I'm not going to right now, but you know, that was also always the awesome thing about being part of the fighting game community back then.
Let's see if he's gonna just use this to shit on the FGC now in 2017. I feel it coming.
Was that it wasn't necessarily about I have to win at this tournament and I have to be the best player on the planet and I have to make a ton of money by participating in this event. Instead, it was more about the social aspect, meeting people from different areas and different regions and looking at different styles of gameplay that you didn't know existed because back then there were no YouTube videos to share instantly gameplay mechanics and things on the internet, so you just had to learn by playing people in person. I know, whoa, blows your mind. There was no online play.
Oh my god, he's doing this like subtle shitting on, like he's not saying, unlike today's FGC, instead he's like shitting like ambiguously, like you know what he's shitting on. But if you call it out, he's gonna say, "I didn't say that. I didn't say it was. I'm saying I didn't shit on the FGC, dude. I'm talking about today generally. I'm talking generalities. But you know what he's talking about.
I'm playing. There was no YouTube yet. You had to learn shit for yourself.
Oh my god, dude! Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna get like a headache listening to this. Jeez, because he complains so much more about the fucking learning on YouTube shit.
I learned on YouTube.
Like back then, it's like yeah, you learn on YouTube and whatever. Today, it's like it's like oh, learning on YouTube, you're cheating and you learn the entire game. And it's like whatever.
Those are some of the best times of my life, of that period of my youth, basically. But on the flip side, if you want to know like the best time competitively, I would say would probably be East Coast in particular, because I was the top player of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. This was the period of time when I was like one of the top guys. But on the flip side, if you want to know like the best time competitively, I would say would probably be about 2006, 2007.
Easy one.
Turbo on the East Coast.
Turbo.
Nestor.
Who the fuck's calling? I don't know this number. They can talk to the voicemail. It's probably something stupid. Like probably gonna be like, do you know? Shit's going down? Talk to the voicemail, bitch.
Who you've seen me do cooperative stuff under the name Koru Chado, was actually the best player at Capcom vs SNK2. And I remember one year we went to Evo East.
We have not gotten intro by the phone in like so long.
I think it was Anniversary Edition tournament, and he won.
Man,
CV, another one of our
it's
friends
a deep
really
cut.
Third Strike.
Okay.
In Evo East and the game with. I know that you were hanging out with the Northeast Fighting Game crew, being in Connecticut and all. Any fond stories? Well, the thing is, folks. All right. The thing is, and this is the God's honest truth. There's good people everywhere and there's bad people everywhere. I met the nicest fucking possible people who just wanted to chill and hang and share gameplay strategies and stuff like that and just have a good time. And I met the biggest fucking conceited, egotistical douchebag fucks who thought that because they were good at Street Fighter that they were like better people than other.
That's kind of how DSP views himself. Like, you ask anybody who doesn't like this guy, he'd say the same thing about him. He's good at Super Turbo, and this guy is like,
I know all this stuff about fighting game fundamentals.
And then, like, he talks about Street Fighter 6, yeah, it's a piece of shit game, pattern play, Cammy dominates, and, like, I don't even think Cammy has won a tournament in so long. I think Cammy won, like, Season 1 tournaments? But I've not seen her, like, in that kind of scene in a while. I know, like, when Piece of Piece used to restream DSP playing Street Fighter 6, like, he would complain about, like, the nerfs they did for Cammy in some of these balance patches. But now the balance patches in Street Fighter 6 are just, nobody likes them. I will say a hot take, though. I think this recent balance patch, from what I'm to understand, I'm a dum-dum here, but I think they gave Minot some buffs. I think they made Minot a better character. I don't think these are like earth-shattering buffs they gave her, but it's something. They gave her something, from what I'm to understand about the changes. But it's nothing that's gonna be revolutionary. But I will say, like, another hot take. I kind of think Strive has been having better balance patches in modern fighters than any other game. Like, the criticism I've heard about Strive is really just like some of the stuff is kind of goofy. I kind of like goofy patches like this. The only issue I have with Strive is that they don't really do any meaningful nerfs for Potemkin. Leo is a big offender of this. They gave him a new move and I hate fighting Leo. Like, Leo can be removed from the game, please. Like, get him out of here. And they actually did a good job nerfing Happy Chaos. Like, I can actually, like, hang against Happy Chaos more competently.
They walked around like celebrities and shit. And keep in mind, before YouTube. So it wasn't even like they were popular on YouTube and thousands of people knew who they were.
Oh my god. And then look how DSP acted when he started recording and uploading footage. the moment he started uploading, he's like, everyone's jealous. Everyone's jealous of me. They're jealous. Everyone's jealous. T-pose on him.
Where they were just hot shit in the Street Fighter community, and they were the cock of the walk, right?
Cack
So I
of
get
the
'em all.
whack.
And the bottom line is, I don't really think that there's one region or one group that's better than another when it comes to
I've
that.
also noticed a shift. In his opinion on the FGC. Here, because again, I think with this, he did have a lot of run-ins with the new FGC, so he has no opinion of them. He's like, oh, whatever, they're doing whatever. It is what it is. The most he'll say is that the tournaments are, like, sold out, like, it's just about the money and stuff like that. Like, that's the most he got negative in this time period. But he was very negative about the old FGC. But then, if you shift into, like, a gamer chair, Phil, when he got rid of the love seat, magically, he starts having more fond memories of back in the day about how the FGC was grassroots and they were all like the little guy and now they're all corporate shills, dude. Like, it's so weird and like annoying. Because I can be a little charitable in the sense of like maybe some with certain aspects of the FGC and certain talking points. But the thing is, like, he talks way too generally, and he's also like not in the FGC. Like, he says this himself a lot of the time. So how the fuck would he know? Like, wouldn't he be a little bit out of touch with what the FGC is doing? And I think this is what a lot of people kind of dog on him for. This is probably why a lot of the new FGC, the young FGC people, whatever that shit on him, they're just dogging on him because he's out of touch. Like, it's like a boomer complaining about people who watch Batman now. It's like, hey man, Batman's like not your thing anymore. Like, you have your own thing, it's there, you can watch it, whatever. But like now, like, it's our era Batman, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But it's like this, like, very ridiculous thing. You know, I don't know how to describe it, right? Because I feel like, you know, again, this is like the nuance of gatekeeping it, right? Like, there is like a realistic reason why I've seen people on both sides, the anti-woke and the woke side, who kind of vouch for gatekeeping, unironically, in some cases. And I think that there is like a line, right? And I do think that a lot of people use it in toxic ways, where it's this kind of like you're dogging on someone that's like casually interested in something, and you're just gonna be like, get the fuck out. When it's like, hey man, they just want to like just experience this. But then like you will get disingenuous people that claim to be fans that are gonna be like, yeah, I love this thing. Let's remove all the things that make it good. It's like, okay, man, like, are you really a fan? You know what I'm saying? And you know, this is a little derailment, I guess. I mean, it can't be a Theo video without a derailment. But I feel it's kind of interesting what's going on in the Ghost in the Shell community, because there's a new anime, The Ghost in the Shell, which is a little bit more close to the manga, right? And a lot of people who watched the anime back when, like, it, you know, Shadow Complex? I don't fucking remember the show's name. I haven't watched it. But the original, like, Ghost in the Shell animes, right? Purple Hair Motoko, I'll just differentiate with that, right? You watch those, and it's very different from what the current anime is doing, because it's more close to the manga, which is very different from these animes. So you'll kind of find a lot of people who either were not aware of the manga or didn't care for the manga and watched the anime and liked the anime more because of what it was doing, slowly start to say that this new anime is not for them and all this kind of stuff. And what's kind of beautiful about this, I will say, is the toxicity that you'd kind of expect as kind of it was kind of going up a little bit, then it went down, and it just became like, hey, you need to understand that this is more in line with the manga and all this kinds of. Like, I've not seen people like dog on each other. They may dog on like Reddit posts, but these are Reddit posts. I mean, anyone's gonna dog on a Reddit post, right? But like, that's the most. and it's really like doggone like the very like ridiculous criticisms, like, oh my god, I can't believe that Motoko was smiling. It's like, okay, this is a stupid like post, shut up, like that kind of stuff. But it's not like I've not seen like people who don't like this anime, not real fans. These people suck. They're all tourists. Like, I've not seen anyone accuse other people of LARPers about this in like ever. Like, it was about to be a thing, and then it just went away quickly. It's very funny because then it kind of subsided into like, yeah, there's like two people who watch Ghost in the Shell, people who like read the manga and people who don't, and that's kind of what it is. Because I think it's interesting what the anime has done, and I think that's what makes adaptations interesting, when you start doing these kind of like interesting things. Whatever. Oh my god, I'm getting derailed. Let's get back on the rails, guys.
To that, they're the same, you know, East Coast, West Coast. The thing is, the funny thing is, a lot of people would think that I would say that I hated the West Coast because I was East Coast, and the West Coast always talked shit about me and always hated my guts. Not true. Over the years, there were people from the West Coast.
Yeah, not true. People on the East Coast hate him just as much. I mean, come on. I'm on the East Coast and I don't like Phil.
Who I met, who were very. Jason Cole was always the chillest fucking dude.
Okay.
Like, he wasn't a fucking about everything. Oh god. Oh, the Wolf Brothers. Finally, thank you. I do other people, and I know there's rivalries within shit, drama about shit when they shouldn't. But you know, it's funny because people think like we hate each other or whatever. He was one of the coolest who I was always cool with. He watched the fucking stuff that I put in Fighter. Everyone wanted to talk shit about me. One group of people that I think I liked.
Oh my god, it's just I'm over that, because a lot of this is really just talking about the past. Like, it really is just talking about like how it used to be.
Shit of the fighting game community, which a lot of it is different now. I'm older. I don't have. So yes, listen, it's not that I.
Holy shit, guys! He's playing a game and he's talking. You don't ever see him do that today.
At a high tournament level.
Oh my god, what is
the gameplay streams and stuff that I do now? It just wouldn't happen. I wouldn't have time to do it. So that being said, I don't think it would be worth it for me to do that at all, ever. Unless there was a game that I was so in love with that I absolutely said I must play this game at a high tournament level.
Okay, it's talking about tournaments.
Everything into it, but I haven't found that game. Seriously haven't. Most of the games that have come out in recent years are not that good at all. So. Wow, I got it perfect. I actually had the right amount of turns and everything. You saw that? So yes, listen, it's not that I couldn't, and it's not that I didn't, you know, enjoy the time that I did fighting games competitively. It's just that I don't see myself going back. You know, my life's different now. I'm older. I don't have money to travel everywhere, that kind of disposable income anymore to do that kind of shit. I really don't want to put up with the childish bullshit of the fighting game community, which a lot of it is. A lot of drama and stupid bullshit.
Oh, here we go.
Evil aside, it's nice to see some things.
It's all drama now.
Still done by hand.
It's all drama.
I just don't want to put up with that shit. I don't. I've grown up. I've really grown up and matured since those days when I was all about the FGC. Huh.
Huh. I grew up as he plays Mario and Rabbids. SJW. Okay, let's open this new tab. Kind of want to see that part.
I used to know from the fighting game community. He's actually asked a bunch of questions in the past. You asked the Kings, and he's enjoyed the answer, so he asked another one. It's a good question. He says, Phil, I'm interested in your business thoughts. What do you think about someone who works a 9-to-5 job for their whole life and makes a decent amount of money, let's say $100,000 a year or more,
okay,
and then retires versus being your own boss and setting up a business? Are you someone who likes to take a risk and maybe get a bigger reward for it, more so than someone who would prefer a steady income? Well, here's the thing.
Here's the thing about this.
And I've said this many times over the years. Many people may not realize it because I don't mention it all the time. I didn't intentionally do this as a job. What I'm doing.
Okay.
Games and film. I lost my full time.
Right.
Keep my stuff. It's all gonna get. You know, I'm gonna go into financial ruin. Both parts. I've had the 9-to-5 office job. 5. Now, yes, sometimes if it's a salary job, you're your own boss. You own your own business. There is no time away. Make less money or something could go wrong. Thinking about that, right? So in that regard, that's one positive about actually having the office job is you're actually you're able to have a work-life balance He'll
Okay.
have family, 9 to 5 office job.
I don't want to hear this answer anymore. This is like not even interesting anymore. Thoughts on more community interactions? What kind of game? What is it? What is this?
Questions to get through, and then we can get to the open forum questions. Here we go. The next one is from Zavon. And he says, Phil, I'd like to see more community interaction so we can grow as a community in a way that you would be beneficial to all of us. I would like to know if you had any ideas for content you'd like to see your community involved in. Maybe host a couple of content creator-driven contests a couple of times a year, etc., etc. I'm not sure. You know, over the years, there have been various different things, excuse me, that I've tried. Sadly, none of them have really permanently stuck as like an ongoing thing for the community.
Okay, I don't want to listen. Dude, these answers are dog shit. Why is there an Okay, let's listen to this. Why is there an uprising in SJW and PC culture?
Next question is from Gunnerman1400, and he asked the following. On a previous Ask the King, someone brought up the topic of PC, meaning being politically correct. I would like to know, in your opinion, why do you think that there's an uprising of PC/social justice culture? I honestly see it as pointless at best, but unnecessary at worst, and it's one of the things in our own modern times that I turn a blind eye to and has not been able to relate with people. Thanks. Now, here's the deal. Gunnerman,
Here's the
I actually
deal.
disagree with you. I disagree with you. I don't think that social
Oh my
justice...
god! Back to performative, because this dude had a crash out about people who find the R word offensive and a slur. I mean, like, I talked about this enough, but he had a whole crash out about why people find that offensive, and here he's like, I don't understand. Look, I just think BC makes sense, but he doesn't believe this. Like, I don't think even when he's defending using the R slur, I don't even think he believes that either. I think generally all he believes is that he should not have to answer himself for saying the R word. He should not be in hot water for it because he's not being toxic about it. Whatever. But he will never say these other slurs anymore. In any shape or form, because he understands those are negative, like in a very childish level. But there's no like meaning behind this. He's only saying this because like he's on Twitch and he thinks Anita Sarkeesian is gonna go to his house and send him to woke jail. Like that's basically it. But let's listen to why he thinks it's important.
Justice or being politically correct or helping talk about minorities, Black Lives Matter, feminism. Gender, being transgender, LGBT. I know there's more than those four, but being conscious of that and being supportive of all those things, I don't think that it's unnecessary. I don't think that it's pointless.
I do think like the Black Lives Matter thing, it gets lost in the weeds, especially when you go like further in time, like during the pandemic and all this stuff. Like the BLM support really just kind of gets lost in the sense that like. He understands why people are protesting, but then says, well, we need cops. Cops are cool, but the protest is too much. When it's like, like, I do think that there has to be some kind of, revision or readjustment in the sense of, like, police and, this and that. Like, I understand, like, the concept of why people would want police around. But I also understand why people may say that the police is not, like, equipped in some situations, whatever. I mean, this is a very big topic, and this is not a video to get to the bottom of this debate. But there's more things you kind of like chew on that DSP doesn't even like face or address in any sense. The most he says is it's bad when police cause brutality, and it's like, okay, yeah, like I think anyone can agree that like people should not be mindlessly shot if there's a way to like peacefully subdue them, whatever. I mean, there's always like people who will like kind of say whatever to justify anything, whatever, but just on the surface level of like, I think people should be able to speak up and say, hey, I think it's bad when police just shoot to kill, man. I think that's like not a outlandish belief. I think anyone can kind of come to that conclusion. You know what I'm saying,
has
dog?
a place in modern society because we are becoming an entirely more progressive society as time marches on. We're becoming more accepting of things that maybe used to be seen as fringe or weird or bizarre. Or
But
not
you know,
more.
it
Now
is
we're much more
interesting. Like, you know,
accepting.
even let's take this at face value and say DSP believes this, and DSP is a big champion of these things. He sold these beliefs out so fast. So fast the second he wasn't getting any benefit from like saying this shit. He went immediately into like, oh, things are too woke. Now we gotta go the other way. Now guys, I should be able to say slurs. The R slur, or and people who get offended are idiots. So you get upset when the doctor says you're overweight, and it's like these are like meaningless. Like these are like Facebook AI slop articles about like people getting offended when doctors say you're overweight or whatever the fuck. Like that's kind of like the trajectory DSP is going down, and it's like he sold this out so fast, and it's like you know whatever. Because I also don't think he understood anything. Like I don't think he understands trans rights. Like I guarantee if you brought up anything that people ask anybody in about trans rights, he'd crumble immediately. Like you know what I'm saying.
Of those things. I just mentioned earlier on this episode, Ask the King, about nerd and geek culture. It used to be fringe, weird, and now nerd and geek. It's cool to be a geek, man. It's that's the in thing. We all like geeky shit.
This is just him reacting to like him thinking that since woke and PC, like the fact he brought up geeky nerd culture being popular and mainstream because of the Marvel movies and this and that, like him like comparing that to woke and PC shit should kind of tell you that he kind of views that shit as like mainstream, so he's trying to fit in with other people that he thinks is mainstream. And now like he thinks that anti-woke is mainstream, even though I don't think any of these things are mainstream because there's just enough backlash going back and forth that's kind of like, you know, whatever. But whatever, this is how he perceives the world around him. So he perceives that like the anti-woke crowd is like around and they're proud and they're loud and all this stuff. So he wants to like fit in, and in this quest to fit in, he's not really like finding anything to believe in. You know, it's like you see like people just go with whatever, and it immediately contradicts what they said before. You know, like it's kind of and there's no nuance. Like there is nuance in some cases where someone may change their opinion of what they said years ago or whatever. There is nuance in everything, but DSP is not that kind of person. Like look at him. You think this guy has any nuance in his life? No. He says he does, but I've yet to see him exercise any nuance in his discourse.
And superhero movies are the biggest thing, when back then superheroes used to be a joke for kids, right?
A joke for kids.
So
yeah, Batman's a huge joke.
Talking about modern times, things evolve. Okay.
Evolve.
And I'm all for acceptance of people who are not in the norm. You know, well, I'm not bigoted against people who may be homosexual.
Yeah, because again, like he's not big in the sense that like, as long as he's not perceiving it as they're going to his house to make him gay or whatever, then he's fine. Which, of course, like, the LGBT are not doing that. They're not going to people's homes and, like, okay, suck my dick right now. Like, they're not doing that. They're just, like, saying, hey, let us exist. Let us, do what we want to be happy. Let us, like, you know, pay bills, go to work, you know, whatever. But he's like, I accept them. I accept them. Hands up.
Or transgender, or, you know, race. We'll talk about, you know, I'm not prejudiced against any particular race whatsoever. And, you know, these are important issues that need to be brought up, especially if you see that there are things that are going on that aren't fair. You know, right now, currently, we have this big scandal going on, the Harvey Weinstein scandal, where it was found that a big-time male producer in Hollywood had a systematic history of...
I love this is a scandal. I mean, this is the thing that happened, and he got in trouble for being who Harvey Weinstein is. Like, dude, he's a sexual predator. I mean, come on.
Use within his industry where he was molesting, sexually harassing, even raping young actresses, and no one did anything to stop it. Yeah, we need to speak up against that shit. Because look, now this guy's done it for over 20 fucking years. You got all these victims coming out, right? And now you realize this has actually been a big issue. I mean, let's be honest here.
Let's
It's
be
probably an
honest.
issue in every industry. In every big industry, you've probably got these habitual abusers who no one wants to speak up against because they're the bigwig. And if you speak up against them, you maybe never get a job in that industry ever again, right? It's a problem. And you might say, well, this is different because back then no one would speak up. Now, because it's 2017, everyone speaks up. You know, what's the deal? What's changed? In my opinion, a few things. First of all, we were becoming a much more global culture, a much more global society. And what I mean by that is, before the internet, who did you really know? Well, I knew my family.
Okay, I'm over this. I was like somewhat interested, and then it just kind of was like, yeah, guys, the internet. Yeah, we talked to other people across the globe. Whoa, man.
I haven't been in the competitive fighting game community since he's been a part of it. So,
Wait, what?
like low tier god, he does his own thing, I do my own thing, and if you're making the comparison, you're stupid. All right. First of all, I was here before him. All right. I do
All
much
right.
different content. I'm a variety streamer.
Okay. He's like trying to distance himself from LTG. Not gonna work, buddy. You are one of him. You are part of him. I don't know. I don't know what the joke would be there. Let's go on. Trading games. You gotta look at that.
Even the hardcore fighting game community are saying the game's not nearly as good as Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was. Really just seems like a cash-in. And by the way, there's rumors Capcom won't even be supporting it after this first slew of DLC characters is done. They may not even be like updating it anymore. So, you know what I mean? So look at the games that Capcom's putting out. Why would I go back to them or put time or effort into them? You know what I mean? I really think Capcom has lost their way.
Yeah, Capcom lost their way. This was December 2017. This is like way after RE7. A little too early to say that, right? Right, guys? Well, what the fuck? 32. So this was probably asking. Wait. Okay, let's
On to the next one. Phil, will you go back to Salte? Hold on a second.
Salte.
Stream chat open. All right. Phil, will you go back to Salty Saturday Ultra Street Fighter 2 in anticipation for the 30th Anniversary Collection Edition at Street Fighter Games? I don't know. I mean, if there's a reinvigoration of people playing that on the Switch before.
Oh my god, I don't care. I don't care about that. What? Why do games seem tougher, take longer when you're okay? Damn it!
It's actually
my
5
curiosity.
questions from Nick. Nick went all out this month. Nick usually doesn't ask a ton of questions.
Oh, is this
He asked
Pineapple
5
Head?
questions this month. It's the holidays. Let's do it. Let's be nice to Nick. Let's answer his question.
Let's be nice to Nick. Let's be nice to Nick. This dude like shat on Nick really hardcore about Stardew Valley back in the day. I think 2017. I think because he wanted like Stardew Valley really bad, and I'm like, either DSP didn't play it or he played very little of it, and that pissed Nick off, and then DSP like shat on him. It's very weird. Like, I remember I kind of like was dogging on Nick a while.
All right. Not old Saint Nick, by the way. This is Nick, my, longtime viewer. All right. Number 1. Why do you think that people take longer to beat games in their childhood to clear the games, or because we played less frequently, or because you develop over time, right? You haven't played as many video games as you do later, so you don't.
Okay, I don't care. Why are you trading? Okay, I'm not listening to this. I'm over it. Let's see. Fighting games, community in my air. Oh wait, that's something else. Open this, a new tab.
In the fighting game community, in my era, that won everything like Punk and Sonic Fox do now. I mean, for me, when I actually started it was kind of a toss-up between a lot of people, but then it just basically became like Justin Wong was winning everything because he Justin Wong. Here's the thing. Let me explain.
Okay.
Back then, when I was heavily into fighting games competitively, it wasn't like today. Today, if you're heavily into fighting games, you can get sponsorship. If you win tournaments, you can win big money. And if you play, you could stream, make money on stream. There's multiple revenue sources for someone who wants to be like a full-time fighting game player. Back then, when I did it, none of that existed. It was literally, you pay money to go to a tournament, you enter the tournament, so that's more money. Obviously, you got to pay for food and lodging while you're at the tournament. Oh, by the way, even if you win the tournament, even if it's like hundreds of people entering, the most you'll win is like $1,000. So it was...
Again, we watched a video where he was like, I lost $1,000. Oh my god. Like, he made a big deal out of losing $1,000, and now he's like, yeah, it's just $1,000. It's nothing. It's stupid. It's a stupid amount. But then why did you talk about it a lot? Like, he hyped it up. He hyped it up as like, I lost $1,000. I lost it, dude, in a money match. I did a lot of money matches. I gambled, and some of the gambles didn't pay off. But now he's saying, like, but here he's like saying, like, oh yeah, you couldn't make any money back then, as he was doing stuff to make money off of fighting games. Like, again, this is like semantic side where it's like, well, it wasn't guaranteed, and I did it anyway, and the cost is another thing he'd probably hide behind, whatever. But why did it matter that you couldn't make $1,000? Like, I don't know, whatever.
It was never profit making. It was just for the love of the game. So very few people could do it.
Again,
because
he talked a lot about the money aspect of it, and then he's like, well, "Oh, they colluded in 2013 about money to make money to split the pot and all this stuff." And now he's like, "Yeah, back then it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the money, dude. Now it's about the money."
Because they were, you know, had jobs and lives or school or whatever. I don't know how. Okay, I don't know Justin that much personally. I don't know much about him. Somehow he dedicated his life to playing fighting games literally all the time, and he basically became the best player overall on the entire East Coast, and he would win in every game he played.
Again, this dude operates on like such childish logic. I mean, this is why like it blew his mind that Mike Klum took 3 years or whatever to make the EDP documentary. He thinks like if you stream or did a video of like, let's say I just did a stream of me playing Strive or whatever, and that's all you see me, you're probably gonna say, wow, he's playing Strive so much, and it's like, yeah, what if I'm just playing it when like I'm streaming it? Like, that's not really a lot, you know, or whatever. Like, it's like you think what you're seeing on camera is like what he's doing or whatever. Like, what you think that, I don't know how to describe it.
He was the one person who somehow was able to do it full time for his life. I don't know how. I don't know if someone paid his way and financed him to do it. I don't know if he had wealthy parents. I don't know anything about the background. But like for me, it was funny because in games where I actually was like heavily focused in, I could beat Justin. Like I could beat Justin in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo all the time. He was never at a level where he could beat me competitively in tournament at that game. But he would play all games, and basically he would dominate in so many. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, CVS 2, Third Strike. He would always be tops. It's like, how do you fight? How do you fight against someone who literally all they do?
But if you're focused in Super Turbo, you're not going to be focused on those other games, so you naturally be at a disadvantage to a person who just probably played better than you. Like, he may not even be good at Third Strike. He may only be good compared to DSP because DSP sucks at it. But I love now, like back then he's saying like, oh, I'm really good at Super Turbo. Now he's like saying I'm good at all these other games, and then he like accuses LTG of like, oh, I don't know. He accuses LTG of like moving the goalposts. I can't remember the exact rant. He was like, you think I suck at Street Fighter 6? Well, you can't beat me in Street Fighter 4 because I'm better than that game, or some shit like that. And then he ended the joke with tiddlywinks. Like that was like the rant that he had about LTG. But now you look at him now, he's like, oh yeah, I'm good at this game. I could wipe the floor with LTG playing all these games. But here he's like, oh well, Justin Wong must be a master of these other games. Like, this is actually, like, a really weird thing that's going on with DSP and his like viewpoint, right?
All days play Street Fighter, when you only get to play Street Fighter maybe like 2 times a week on the weekends for like 5 hours a day. You know what I mean? You can't hang with that. And that was the situation. By the way, again, back then, games didn't have online play. So it wasn't like you could sit at home and even play from home. You had to go to arcades to play these games. So he was the most dominant for sure. Son of a bitch. I wasn't paying attention, and now look what fucking happened. Shit. Now I gotta find
I
fucking
love
stairs.
that like he had that mug and he never used that mug again. The moment he couldn't like shill the mug, he dropped using it. It's very cool.
The fighting game community, now that, for instance, Tokido from your era can make a good living playing tournaments. Not really.
Wait, what?
Let's see here. Alice Tolman did another 90-bit cheer, and he says, have you ever had any doubt about leaving the fighting game community now that, for instance, Tokido from your era can make a good living playing tournaments? Not really. Not really. I actually feel I made the right decision, all right? For a long time, I was a competitive fighting game player. I would say probably from the early 2000s all the way through like 2007. 7 years of my life, my major time and money investment, my one main hobby was playing competitive Street Fighter. I wasn't always good enough to win, but I always tried. I always traveled to play, and I always, did my best. But, it wasn't really until the end of the era, really, I would say 2005 to 2007, that I was good enough to start placing in tournaments and, do well in Super Turbo, various versions of Super Turbo that were available. Previous to that, I had played games like
Okay, we're just
never have met otherwise. I traveled to places like to Las Vegas.
Okay, I'm over this video. That went like nowhere really fast.
In the fighting game community, that was the attraction for me. I mean, yeah, it's fun and doing that kind of stuff. Just shooting the shit. Quite honestly, very rarely would I even say it was the competitive play of being in the fighting game community that was the attraction for me. I mean, yeah, it's cool to say, oh, I did well at a tournament, or to be on stage and to whoop someone's ass, and to always have that, in the annals of history of results.
The annals.
But for me, it was more about just having fun with people, honestly.
I love he said this, because in future rants, he would keep talking about how people don't respect his wins. he got so butthurt. I kind of want to like just skip ahead and find that rant. But this dude, oh wait, fuck. That might be in a deleted podcast. But I think I know where I can find it. I think Hate Army had a clip of it. But he got so butthurt that a dude on Twitter was like, "Oh yeah, I got a cabinet of Super Turbo, the one that you're good at," or whatever the fuck. He said some like snarky comment like that. And it sent DSP in a spiral of like, this guy is not respecting the old FGC. I did wins, and they want to take that away from me. All that kind of shit. But then here he's like, I didn't care about the wins. Yeah, it's nice, but like I just enjoy the camaraderie and the love of the people, or whatever the fuck. And that went away so fast. And like, this is like also during the era where he tried so hard to be like chill, positive guy, and it just didn't really work out. Now him being positive is him yelling and being like a PPP light, if you will.
Honestly, it's just really stupid that so many people now turn the fighting game community into about talking, being famous and all that shit. That's never what it was about for me, ever. So yeah, there are things that I miss about the fighting game community. However, the incredible amount of time, money, and everything invested in it basically made it unbearable to the point where that's why I quit in 2007, and I never looked back. I never will either.
Damn, that's how it ends. Thumbnail, what the fuck? I'm not gonna think about that thumbnail. I'm gonna move on positively.
From the fighting game community, and I quote, DSP was blacklisted because he whipped out a knife on someone at Ebo.
Okay, he's saying that never happened. It did happen. It was a misspeak from the person. But it's very funny that other people can make mistakes, and then he like demands their head.
Community, no one knows who the hell those guys are.
Whoa.
No. The bottom line is, Chewbacca Uchiri said, "What's up? Question: Do you think if you did fighting game community commentating back in the day, you would have been bigger than Mike Ross or Gutax?" Well, I don't know. The bottom line is, if you're not aware, I am more well known than Mike Ross or Gutax. Outside of the fighting game community, no one knows who the hell those guys are. I'm known all over the internet for being a more generalized commentator and gamer.
Yeah, that's what you're known
However,
for.
if you're talking just in general,
Sure.
how many people in one distinct community know me, they're much bigger. They're like well-known guys in the fighting game community, right? I'm not necessarily, oh, Phil's well-known in the Let's Play community. Not really. But that being said, I don't think I ever would want to do commentary.
And it's
anyway,
kind of
even though
funny.
it
He
wouldn't
kind of
happen.
is. Like, he kind of is, but the thing is, again, like, he's not well known in the sense of, like, he's a household name either. He's just well known, like, I mean, just as much as, like, Mega 64 is well. Oh, no, not really. Not really. Never mind. I take that back. Let's move on.
Only focused on commentary of fighting games and stuff. It's a what-if question. It's a weird question. I really don't care. So.
Okay, it's a weird what if question. I mean, everything's weird with you. Open a new tab. Let's see what this is about.
Another guy from the fighting game community who I guess did do that. I don't.
Okay, well, you know, I just realized this is Ask the King. We could just like look at the question. So it's 2012. So I would say, yeah. What are the craziest things that have said about? Oh my god, the craziest things people have said about me.
I don't know.
What?
But that has nothing to do with me whatsoever. I was an organizer of the fighting. He corrected himself or whatever, but he said this to all his viewers because he went to Evo and he was trying to stab people or threaten people.
Oh my god, dude! This was a period of time, like a very small period of time. Like, you know how he latched on to the escort saga and he was like, "Guys, look at the trolls." This knife thing was like another thing he latched on to like debunk the hate that he gets from the FTC. When it's like, you know, people say
the
things.
current fighting game community because I don't know anything about it. I'm not part of it. You guys probably shouldn't be asking me about the current fighting game community because I don't know anything about it. I'm not part of it. I don't go to tournaments. I don't know anything about it.
Oh my god, dude. That's stream exclusive content because I don't know what the fuck the context was to that.
You see, it's the fighting game community. The competitive fighting game community. Alright, well.
Don't tell me someone asked him, what does FGC stand for?
Last
Please.
match for this set, I think. I'm gonna just go fucking back. You go again.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry we had to, we saw that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
I'm part of the fighting game community. I don't only play fighting games like he does. For whatever reason, some people who like him have always said there's crossover between my audience and his. God is a gamer who's infamous in the Street.
Okay, this is kind of interesting. I wonder if this is the video I was trying to find all those years ago, because there was a period of time where he tried to do that like match in the 30th anniversary, and there was a point where DSP was like,
Okay, yeah, I don't think he does want to fight me. I get it, man. The trolls were. He doesn't want to fight me because if I win, the trolls are gonna like harass him, and he probably doesn't want to be. He wants to be left alone. I get it, man.
you know, whatever. He was very like understandable, and then you fast forward and DSP was like, yeah, he ran away because he's a little bitch. All this shit, and I'm just like thinking, like, man, why suddenly be an asshole to the guy when you understand why he doesn't want to fight you, right? Like,
Street Fighter community, he has a reputation and blah blah blah. I don't care about any of that. But over the years, people have always said there's crossover between my audience and his for whatever reason. I don't know why. I'm not part of the fighting game community. I don't only play fighting games like he does. For whatever reason, some people who like him like me, some people who like me like him, and they always go crossover. And I said, you know what?
he acts so weird about crossover. Like that, there has been crossover in general. Like, you could probably find a crossover in a lot of people, like, that watch people. You know, that's the nature of things. Like, yeah, LTG plays fighting games and he rages. DSP plays fighting games and rages. Like, that's the crossover. Like, they both rage on fighting games. There you go. It's not that deep.
Out of all the times that I've covered fighting games, this is like the one time when I'm actually playing a collection I know he has, and if we were to play each other, it would probably cross over our audiences and be this epic event and all that. So I laid out a very respectful challenge to him on Twitter last week on Wednesday night. And I basically said, you know, respectful challenge to Low Tier God in the collection. I like to play him in Super Turbo and Third Strike. I'll probably win Super Turbo. He'll probably win Third Strike. And if he feels like playing Hyper Fighting or Alpha 3, that's on the table too. But that's kind of what I'm interested in doing. There you go. He responded almost immediately on Twitter and said, he basically said, you will probably win ST, and Third Strike is another matter, because he probably thinks he's going to win, which I almost agree with. And he said, I will DM you. I said, okay, I'll follow you. So I followed him on Twitter. He followed me. He said he was going to DM me on Thursday. Okay? Now, in the meantime, after we had that little mini discussion Wednesday night, on Thursday of last week, I had a session of Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, where I was trying to make a lobby and play with viewers. I set up this lobby and people were joining. It worked for about an hour, and it kept crashing, and we had to keep... After an hour, it stopped working altogether. So I was planning on playing with...
Okay.
So I was so disappointed, and I was like, now, if I actually want to play someone like Low Tier God or whoever...
I'm just curious where this is going to go.
...challenge against... Well, how are you still going to do this challenge that you laid out? And I said, I have no idea. I guess it's not happening. I don't see how everyone's hype, and then the whole fucking thing falls apart and doesn't work. I mean, what a waste of time that would be, right? And I'm sure we both have better things to do. But in the meantime, I was still waiting for him to message me on Twitter, DM me, whatever you want to say, to talk to him about it and get details, and he never did. And that's the bottom line. That's the end of the story. He never DM'd me. And he said he was going to, and that's it. Grand plans to make dramatic videos about it and claim all kinds of bullshit about it. Here, it's not a big deal for me, but this will be a cool little mini event. If you hear anything else from anyone, including Low Tier God, it's bullshit.
Even if you hear stuff from LTG, it's bullshit. Oh my god, what a cool guy. Imagine you want to like set up something with this guy, and then like, you know, something falls through, he doesn't respond, and he's like, yeah, if you hear anything from him, it's bullshit. Why are you scared? Why are you scared of what LTG has to say? Like, this kind of shows that he kind of has some qualms or some doubts with LTG. Like he thinks LTG was gonna like set him up for something. Like, what do you think was gonna happen? I don't know. This is an interesting T-pose. Very interesting. This is like when you're high and then you gotta hug your mom. Like, you're stoned out of your fucking mind. You know, you're in high school, you're smoking, you're high, then your mom's like, son, I'm home, and all this shit, you know, then you're like, that's what you give. You try to prove that you're not high, so your mom doesn't yell at you. Okay, let's move on. Someone will get the joke, I guess. Whatever.
Coming from fighting game community roots, I got tired of that community because all the inner drama. Is that the reason why you don't participate in it? I just don't care. It's too much work. It's too much drama. It's too much nonsense. Seriously, you have to put so much time, effort, money into fucking, you know, being anything in the fighting game community. Just fuck it. I just don't care. I really don't.
Okay. This is still during the FGC is a bunch of drama people. Let's see. What is this? What is this? Why is this here?
In the fighting game community of 2018, it was the game most people were talking. But
I like the leaderboard. It almost looks like it's trying to censor DSP.
This was by far the hottest game in the fighting game community of 2018. It was the game most people were talking about at EVO, the nationals of fighting games in the United States. Even though they didn't have this as the main event, they should have, because it actually ended up having like just as many, if not slightly more entrants than Street Fighter V. More people tuned into the stream for this than Street Fighter V. People are talking about Sonic Fox right now.
They're talking about Sonic Fox right now!
No one's talking about the dude who won Street Fighter V. I'm just saying, this is...
Yeah, because this is a newer game. Why do you think they're talking about Sonic Fox? Oh my god. And then, like, you know, that's another thing. Like, come on. Let's move on.
Says, go back to your fighting game community look. You look beautiful. What are you talking about? What was my
What?
fighting game community look? I don't even know what that means.
Oh, I think this was. I feel like this is around the time when people found these like old photos of DSP like in like back in the day where he was like super skinny and he almost looks like a crypt. I would almost argue he looked almost more like a cryptid back then than he does now. I mean, he always looks like, well, actually now I'm thinking about that like that closet clean out stream look he had. Oh my god, my nose is like leaking, noob. But I think that's what they were talking about.
So says, why didn't I stay involved in the fighting game community? 2 reasons. Number 1, because when I was involved in the fighting game community, it was a lot of stress and a lot of work and a lot of money and no payoff. So, for example, you say Alex Valle, you realize Alex Valle, really, in reality, until Street Fighter 4, wasn't making any money for Street Fighter. He always had another job or whatever. It wasn't until Street Fighter 4 became so prominent and
Wait,
he realized
what?
Alex Valle, number 1, because when I was involved in the fighting game community, it was a lot of stress and a lot of work and a lot of money and no payoff. So, for example, you say Alex
Again, he mocks like the new FGC for doing so for the money, and it's all about the money. But here he's saying that it's not worth being in the FGC because he didn't get a payoff. But I thought you did it for the love of the game. He always says like how everyone should do it for the love of the game, all this hippy dippy shit. But then he's like, yeah, man, I didn't get a payoff for that. There's no payoff, dude.
say Alex Valle, you realize Alex Valle, really, in reality, until Street Fighter 4, wasn't making any money for Street Fighter. He always had another job or whatever. It wasn't until Street Fighter 4 became so prominent and huge that you could make any money in the fighting game community. It was all grassroots, spend a ridiculous amount of time and money to
Oh,
go to tournaments that even if you
grassroots.
won, it wasn't even enough to cover the cost of your fucking trip. None of this was viable until Street Fighter 4. So in reality, when I quit competitive fighting games in 2007, it was actually the smart move. Plus, you guys got to remember my back injury. I had a bad back injury, and it was a lot of stress to be traveling.
Okay, but that was
to
then.
play
I mean,
fighting games,
he's.
whether
I
it was
like that.
games
I
or-
like the question is now there's money to be had. He's like, well, back then it wasn't worth it. Okay, that was back then, old timer.
And I couldn't really do that anymore. In fact, even
It's like
when I
really
made-
talking to someone like, do you regret not investing in the iPhone? And they're like, well, you gotta understand, back then we just didn't know that the iPhone was gonna explode the way it did.
a ton of money on YouTube.
Like,
Those
okay.
couple of years, I only attended a very few major fighting game tournaments. And it was an issue. It was. Now, Valle is in charge of a streaming and gaming team. I believe at one point he was involved in arcades and stuff. Of course, arcades are all completely shot now. But, he's got a thing going because he stuck with it as his... Come someone. He stuck with it as his hobby. While everyone else, I was getting out of it. A lot of people were getting out of it.
Further collapse expected. Relocate to safe zone.
Again, it's just funny. It's funny. Like, you have people in the card gaming community, right? That's been doing card stuff for a while. Like, this is why you see a lot of like discourse about scalpers. More so than like when people were scalping the PS5. Even like beyond that. Because the consoles, like, these are made to be sold, so of course, like, scalpers are on borrowed time when it comes to like the PS5 and stuff like that, obviously. But cards are a little different because they're made to like for games. They are collectibles and all this other stuff. Like, it's a little bit more like wider. But you see a lot of people like kind of dog on scalpers because it's just making the hobby more expensive and it's ballooning. Getting a lot of people like to buy in that aren't in it for the actual love of the game, like DSP. That's why he bought the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because he does not care about Yu-Gi-Oh. He cares about the value of the cards, and it's something different. Like even if you take the value out of it, it is still tourist behavior. Like, this is the kind of shit that people accuse people of, like, that like a lot of people like like a lot of people like accuse people who watch anime now. There's like they watch it during the pandemic and they just like it because they think it looks cool. They don't know anything about the medium at all, like that kind of shit. And that's DSP. Like it is very funny. And I've said this a lot. I will extend any like charitable opinion and be generous for a lot of people who, let's say they don't know what the fuck a Skullgirl is, but they buy the game, they try it out, and they have very shallow knowledge of it. I'd be more willing to let them explore that game, or just like, anime, whatever. Like, just do what you want. Watch something, play something. I don't care how much you know something. Whatever, because I know at some point they're going to like either get invested in it and be more interested in other stuff as well. Like, that's why like I don't dog on people for watching like Ava Rebuild first. It's like, hey, if that's how you got into Ava, that's how you got into it. Like I got into Ava by watching Rebuild 1, then 2, then 3, and then I watched the original series, and that's fine. Like I became a fan, and I think that's fine. I will never ever extend that for DSP, because he is the textbook example of a tourist. Like there's just people who are just like that. Like there are people that no one will extend this to. Like I know, like even right now, like the topic of like a Twitter account user, Solid Rock, whatever the fuck, Shitpost Rock, whatever his name, the guy with the Joker Garfield profile pic. Like that is another like dude that's like an infamous LARPer in all these other series that a lot of people dog on. And some people don't even want to extend that to him either. And so like DSP is one of these people. He's just so lucky to be one of these LARPers that will never get this extension, because he gets into the card game community, and like what he does is on paper and surface level is not like the worst thing. Like buying a card pack to open and all this stuff. Like there's nothing wrong with that. If he doesn't want to send the cards out, that's fine. But people can criticize that. Like he doesn't have to be insecure about that. He can say like, okay, yeah, look, if they think it's like fucked up, that's fine. But like, you guys seem fine with it, whatever, and that's fine. But the thing is, he doubles down on like the victim complex of it. Oh my god, they're just mean and angry that I'm making money doing this while they're struggling to find a Pikachu or whatever. And then like he made about them being jealous, and then when they're just like expressing that they don't think that what he's doing is genuine, is this kind of like contributing to other factors in the hobby. And he's also supporting scalpers on top of that. Like he's not even going to Shane's card shop. And now, like, recently, he has supported scalpers and a card shop. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, to a point where it's like, who cares? Like, again, he has rants about how, oh, guys, I will not make my streams about cards. I guarantee you, when he starts streaming Tokon today, I'm gonna click the stream and it's gonna say, okay guys, card packs! Guys, card packs! Let's even do a field trip. To DSP Gaming. New cards arrive! New cards arrive! That's like the headline of the fucking stream he's doing today. Like, look at this. Conclusion of Pokemon Pitch Black DSD pack rips. Entire box. Biggest rip ever. Like, and then look at all these like pack rips. Dude, you'll literally scroll up because this guy will pressure his audience to at least give him a pack rips episode once a stream. Once a stream. He wants to do a pack rip. Once a stream. Once a stream. Or like once a day, or whatever he wants to say as cope. But like it's annoying. Man, listen. This video thing, literally doing gang signs. Like he's doing this, like this shit, There was a GIF on Twitter. I don't remember what video it was that Moist Critical was talking about. I want to say it was Backrooms. And it's just it goes to he does the Macarena, and it's like the funniest shit. I like it is kind of to the point where I kind of like appreciate that like Moist Critical does a bit in the beginning of all his videos because it makes for funny gifs like this. But then you go to DSP and it's just Italian hands, card hands, Italian head shake. Like it's just generic what he does. But then you go to this one. No. Where's the tech shit? It was a tech video. Am I crazy? Here. It was this. Like, look how silly this looks. You go to all these other videos and it's just him like doing Italian hands. Here it's like it's such a silly thing. And it's unintentional. And I guarantee if you like explain this to him, he'd think that you're making fun of him and he'll never do it again. So no one should tell him anything.
Ooh. Well, everyone else, you know, I was getting out of it. A lot of people were getting out of it.
Further collapse expected. Relocate
But
to
he was
safe
getting out of it because he wasn't getting any value in it. Like, that's what's crazy.
Ooh. Headshots.
Oh my god, I hate this fucking gameplay. I'm kind of happy he's not playing this anymore. Because this is what the gameplay was. Him sitting in a room. Like, shut the fuck up. Dude, I'm getting so worked up. I'm getting so pissed off. Getting angry. I'm angry. I feel like George Costanza in the Seinfeld episode where he meets the guy where
What would I
refers
do in
to-
the fighting game community? I can't be sponsor streams anymore because of the trolls. I can't get sponsorships for products because if a product sponsors me, they'll go after it. So that's it. I mean, like, what would I do in the fighting game community? I can't be an influencer. What am I gonna fucking influence?
What the fuck is the
Because
question?
of the trolls at this point. Even if this guy died because he. But that's the bottom line. Like at this point, knew that shit was gonna happen. Because he must have been.
Oh my god, we're not getting.
No one would sponsor me because of the
Okay.
trolls. Primarily because of the trolls at this point. Even if this guy died because he. I did 2 sponsored streams that actually were very promoting and positive of the games I played, and I can't do this anymore because the trolls harassed the shit out of the game publishers, and the game publishers went to Twitch and said, well, since this guy gets harassed, we don't want that negative publicity, so please don't let him do any more sponsored fighting game community. I can't be an influencer. What am I gonna fucking influence?
Why would you want to be an influencer? Like, see, I said this so many times. Like, is it like Schrodinger's cat, but it's like Schrodinger's shell. Like, he will either tell you, I don't want to be a shell. I am a man of principles, and I love being the man of the people. And then, like, the next day, I can't be an influencer. The trolls won't let me. I would if I could. Haha.
I don't play fighting games hard or long enough to be a spokesperson for a game. You know what I mean? I'm a variety streamer. I don't care about sitting and playing a game, a fighting.
Okay. I'm gonna do another, I'm gonna do a massive jump. We're gonna do a massive jump forward, guys. Sit down. Get ready for this. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I think these are, like, deleted podcasts. Like, let's see, the fighting game community and its fighting game community, the fighting game community. I want to say this is, like, probably deleted. Yeah, let's go to Hate Army. I gotta put DSP. I don't want to run the risk of getting something else. Oh my god, dude. Cat gone confirmed? Oh my god, dude. This is a wild trip down memory lane. The goals are fake. The Kyo Casino isn't back. Oh my god, dude, what is dude, this is like wild, like, because I know he stopped making videos for a while, and it's like I kind of forgot when he stopped, right? Like daily unhinged rants. DSP wants Joshua Moon to shut down Kiwi Farms. They glaze me. DSP enjoys getting glazed by men on the internet. Let's see. Jordan is an idiot. Jordan has gone rogue. Who the fuck is Jordan? What?
The hate army troll.
It's high
I have to know what the fuck Jordan is.
Shout out to hate.
I remember Jordan now.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for hate.
I remember
Knows.
Jordan now.
Street Fighter today. What's up, everyone? Good evening. Welcome to my late stream, and welcome to something a lot more relaxing, thankfully. Just so everyone knows, Street Fighter today, it wasn't great.
Oh, shouts out to Hades
It's
too.
kind of par for the course at this point. Sometimes I do have a better stream, but most of the time it's just frustration. Basically, at master level, there's no variety. The game is incredibly... They made it so most of the player base all picks the same character.
Okay.
You know, I think today I had less than 7 matches that were different characters than those 4. Like that variety gameplay that I did, okay? And I will be picking other characters over and over with fresh dill as well.
Okay, I think I know what this is, because I think Jordan was used to be a whale, and then he crashed out.
So, let's see how it goes for the rest of tonight. Certainly, I hope it picks up. I don't know if it's going to, but if it doesn't, then we have to revamp. And that's not good. I like the game, but this is why... I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how things go this week. I really like the game. I want to keep playing it. Sure. I don't know what kind of progress we're really doing, or if we're doing well or not. Right now, I would say. Relaxed a bit, which was good. And morning, my wife was not home today, so I was running and constantly having to get the heats to wash, uneven load, kept the podcast in that regard. But outside of that, we went into Street Fighter. Right, it was the end of.
Oh my god, this
goes
music
up
is
and down
intense.
amount of ranking. Execute it perfectly, they win. No matter if I win or lose, it's just 1,500 points by playing this easy mode pattern. No actual knowledge of how to play fighting games.
Oh
No
my god,
fundamentals
dude,
at
I think
all.
there's an achievement. What the fuck is going on?
Literally every fucking person plays Ken and Cammy identically. Because
Okay, I'm over Jordan. Whatever Jordan did, Jordan fucked up. Hate Army Manifesto. I mean, that's something. Man, dude, this is quite a scroll. Jordan, I can't get over that title. Jordan vows to destroy DSP gaming. And there's like an AI, let's try AI picture, whatever. Oh my god, dude, I know there's a rant here about the FGC. I know there is. I'm just gonna search it. I'm not gonna scroll anymore. I mean, I don't remember what year it is, and it's like wild. FGC. Let's see what that gets me. These rants about nameless people in the FGC, despite not caring about them at all. This was 3 years ago. Rants about Mr. Wizard. I want to say it's this one.
Hate Army General saying hate Army shit, hate Army. You're the deal. And why I'm bringing this up. 2 reasons. Because I have been accused of many things over the years. I've been accused of being a thief. I've been accused of being a pedophile. Yes, that's true.
Oh my god.
I've been accused of scamming people.
Oh my god.
Person. I've been accused
Crazy.
of, all right. I've been accused of pretty much anything you could think of.
Darkside Phil is a scammer and a pedophile, and he plays mobile games.
All right. I think the one thing I've never been accused of is rape. That's good. That's always a good one.
Oh my god, dude. Why?
Sometimes things.
Why?
Excuse me. Let me try this again. Last year, some of the things that I've been accused of over the years, I addressed. I actually responded. But the thing is, I admit I did a lot of things wrong in my past. Years ago, I'm trying to be, me today. I feel like I've grown a lot. There's so many things all at you at once that you just feel like human garbage. Like, how do I ever recover from this? Where do I go from here? Right? And the situation right now is bad. All right. I don't think that it's irreversible or unrecoverable. all right? But here's the problem, and here's why I can give you my unique perspective on it, all right?
What?
There have been some things said and done about me over the years that were outright false, all right? And the question is, how do you disprove them? And I'll give you a perfect example of this. Many years ago,
Huh?
someone accused me
What is
of
this
having an
video?
escort, a paid and...
Oh my god, dude! What is this? What is this?
All right. Wow, he's a scumbag.
Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead.
All right. You know, I wouldn't give a fuck. What I'm supposed to actually do to defend myself against that? I can't show you where I spend my money because you know what would happen is essentially
Okay.
try to ruin my credit. You know, not that I have any credit. So in a situation like the escort, in a situation like today where I get accused of nonsense, oh, that's the end of everything for me. Like literally, there goes my money. There was more because I've now been through this multiple times, and I'm not going to put myself through it anymore. All right. So here's the thing, okay? When it comes to Arturo, he's being accused of a lot of things. And after a 2-hour show...
Oh, this is about Arturo. Okay, this is not what I was looking for. I'm not gonna watch that. I don't care about Arturo. That's not what I was looking for. I was trying to find the one where he talks about this guy that was like, oh, you're a squirrel or whatever the fuck.
The hate army troll.
It's the hate army, bro.
The hate army.
games and things like that. And that's good, I guess. But personally, you know, they're starting a new fighting game franchise. I felt like it would have been better if they kind of went a more original route. It really seems to me from the gameplay I've seen of it. I haven't seen too much, but it seems like they're just biting off of other people. All there is let's take things that have worked in other fighting games and just slap them together. I'm not seeing much original about the game. Really, I'm not. All right? I would say the thing I saw the best about the game is the graphics. The graphics are pretty sweet. 100% looks like they ripped off a bunch of other fighting games for me, and likely will not affect 99.9 to the guys who used to run Shoryuken.com. Very corrupt.
Okay, he was talking about 2XKO.
Oh look, the same guys who are fucking involved with that whole situation are making a fighting game. Everyone promote the fighting game. It's great. What? How do we just forget about what just happened?
The Mr. Wizard thing is very weird, and I don't think DSP should talk about it because he makes himself look not guilty, obviously, but he doesn't look like he's as forthcoming as he wants other people to be, right? Like he's like, oh, I knew this guy was doing fucked up things. Okay, so why didn't you say anything? Why? Like he focuses a lot more on the Cannon brothers than Mr. Wizard.
How do we forget about what just happened? These were the exact guys who hired and got Mr. Wizard into those positions of power, who allowed him to do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we forgiving that?
Like, this is just him, like, taking... Like, this is what kind of makes DSP kind of a shitty person. Like, he takes a situation that's very, like, serious. Very serious. And, like, you know, you don't... And all this, and it's like, oh, I can use this as an opportunity to shit on this other guy I don't like. And it's like... You know, you can just like Cannon Brothers all the time, but like you're bringing this up like, you know, in like the same year or so where he was like, yeah, I knew he was doing this fucked up thing, so why didn't you speak up? Like, you know, yeah, okay, yeah, the Cannon Brothers should have spoke up. So should have you. Oh my god, I can't talk, but you know what I mean. He should have as well.
This beginning about this game. I forget what it's called. What is the game called? I don't even know what it's called. I know it as the League of Legends fighting game. All right. But
okay, the League of Legends fighting game. DSP Gaming wants to name the tryhards and expel them from the FG. Okay, this sounds promising. This sounds promising. DSP loves when Tyrone claps his cheeks.
Hate Army General saying hate Army shit you need aware of. Allow me to explain it, because this is where try-hard mentality comes in.
Here we go.
When you hear me say tryhards, right? The term itself, you guys think, oh, Phil is saying something negative, right? Well, that's because the term tryhard has a negative association. Someone who literally is trying so hard.
Oh my god, this is insane. This is insane. You know, he's like, let's hear this. What? Oh, it's
competitive.
It's the video.
They basically will do any means necessary They don't care about if it's fun. They don't care about if it's fair. They're just that try-hard mentality. Try, because I got to prove myself on the online realm. I got to have the biggest e-penis out there by having the highest rank or whatever. And it could even be in the dumbest game that no one cares about. They'll still play as hard as they can at almost.
Dude, he bragged about being like top of the leaderboard in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But very funny.
Even cheat to win just to get ahead. That's like the ultimate try-hard mentality. Win at any cost.
Win at any cost.
Why am I bringing this up?
Why am I bringing this up? What do I mean by that?
I'll tell you why. Because guess what?
Guess what?
When the original Street Fighter 6 beta released in October, try-hard motherfuckers are ruining it for everyone. Do you know what they did? They hacked the fucking beta.
Oh my god.
They found a way to play the beta without Capcom's permission when the beta is not online. So
oh my god, dude.
They're playing this beta and practicing it.
Okay,
now is you now have a big disparity in the players
move on.
arguing with each other, right? So here you go. People are. I'm reading just a string of tweets between Punk the God and Chris Tartarian going back and forth at each other, saying that they talk shit about each other. Well, I guess Punk the God said to Chris, there's no way you were not going to win this tournament when the beta was live. You've been practicing the game for 2 months because you hacked it and you're cheating, right? And then Chris snaps back at him and says, yeah, well, guess what? There's evidence you also have the crack too, so you're an ultimate hypocrite, right? So
the ultimate hypocrite.
Again, this shit used to happen all the time, okay? Back in the day, somehow the top players in the fighting game community somehow miraculously always had early access to all the fighting games. They would play them early. They would have them. They would, you
got more of us getting
cabinet
three early, like
Someone
whatever.
owned it early. They had a cracked version on a console.
Correct.
They could always play early. How is that possible exactly? That the same players, the top players, always have access, but everyone else has to wait, right? It's bullshit. It's not fair. How?
I love he's insinuating there's like a third party in this when these people could have just, I don't know, like went through the steps. Like he acts as if it's like a hidden like art, a dark art of people like just passing around early games and this that when it's like they probably have like ways of doing it, you know, like come on.
Exactly. Oh, I know someone. It was always like this back in the day. There was this elitist group of players who always had access to the shit early. Now you can play it whenever, only from playing that game online ever again, but they should be banned from the competitive community permanently. You can't even attend a fucking Street Fighter tournament because the moment you put your foot in, you got the scarlet letter on your fucking chest.
Okay, I'm not listening to this. The scarlet letter. He said scarlet letter, I'm out. These shows Derek chat spam during a okay. DC insults kick viewers. Oh man. Goku is here. What? Now I can't find it. I don't know where this video is now. I know there's a video. I know there is. But I don't know where. I don't remember the year. I don't remember anything. Infighting in the FGC over Street Fighter 6. Oh, this must be what we were listening to. When he's talking about fucking, like, they cracked the code? I think. So, that's something. Kept the fighting game community alive? Okay, what's this about?
Really kept the fighting game community alive for the whole first half of the 2000s when all the games were dead and Capcom wasn't making new ones. People just continuously kept.
Okay, I don't care about this. This is him like sucking his own dick. Yeah, I wish I could find the video. I wish I could remember it. But I don't.
In the fighting game community for playing fighting games competitively? No one's gonna care. If anything, they burned that bridge, not me. They burned that bridge alone. There's a group that watched me play it Friday nights, And that's about it.
Okay, I don't care. I don't care about this. Let's move on. Affecting the fighting game community. Back to normal. Prominent. I feel like if I say like erase the past, maybe I'll get it, but I don't know. Revision. Let's start at the bottom of this page. Let's see. I almost thought he was holding up his foot, but it's just him holding up his elbow.
Podcast was discussing fighting game community drama, which I usually try to avoid because I'm not part of the fighting game community anymore. But now they're trying to rope me into their nonsense regarding Arturo Sanchez, a former friend and you know pro player.
Okay, yeah, he's trying to make the Arturo. He was trying to make the Arturo drama about him, which is very cool. Like, why is he? Like, why was he so thirsty to make it about him? Like, that's very funny. 2-hour random Q&A. What? You did a random Q&A one time?
Especially there's people in the modern fighting game community who talk shit and say, "Oh, all you ever did was place in a broken version of Super Turbo at Evo and you got 4th place." Like, there's fucking matches on YouTube right now. People just mentioned it. Me versus Justin Wong, me versus Seth Killian, the finals of tournaments that I'm winning. You know? But just ignore that, right? That never happened. You have your little dumb meme about I played a PS1 version of Super Turbo. These people are so small-minded. It's like the fucking walnut in the head, right? You ever see those cartoons, the Looney Tunes? And
I've never seen
it's
the
like,
Looney
how dumb
Tunes.
can you be when there's documented evidence of me being good? And the sad fact is, that's the state of the fighting game community. People listen to those dumbasses because they think it's funny. They're all brain-dead idiots. You know? That's the new generation. It's like,
Look at, so here we go. People come in, the new generation are a bunch of idiots because they're like, yeah, he only won like one Evo. He only won one. He did only win one. These other things are like qualifiers and other shit that even he doesn't even really care that much about, honestly. But this dude is sitting there like, so we're going back to my original reason why I'm making this video. I know we're like 2 hours in and this video is a whirlwind of nonsense. If you stayed around this long, you know, just do yourself a little treat. Treat yourself to a little treat. But this guy is like, yeah, oh, these other card game people are shitting on me. But this guy's like saying that these new people are stupid because they're not like respecting him or whatever.
it's like, Jesus Christ, man, what did we make? And of course, that is an overgeneralization. No, that's not every single person, but there is a big group, a big, you know, mob of those kind of people. It's like, well, Phil, do you want to go back to the fighting game community? Do you want to go back and play in tournaments? No. Do you think I want to deal with that shit? That the moment I walk into an event, everyone's snickering because they think, oh, that's the guy who played the PS1 version of fucking Super Turbo. What are you talking about?
What are you talking
I played it
about?
once at one fucking tournament that happened to be Evo. After then, I dominated in every version of the game I played for 3 years. So what the fuck are you talking about? But they're so stupid. And why even bother with the drama and the nonsense that they're going to create? Because they're all a bunch of little infants. So, no. I'll stay home.
You'll stay home. You'll stay home. Fuck them. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna do massive jumps, by the way. I'm tired of doing individual videos.
What the fighting game community is truly feeling about these things. And I speak it. Because I have no vested interest. When everyone else had to kiss Street Fighter V's butt because they felt if they didn't, Street Fighter would die and they have no content to put out, I didn't care. Because I could do other content because I'm a variety content creator. So I told the truth. And everyone piled on me. Everyone dogpiled and said, oh, Phil's just toxic. Phil's just negative. Phil's just this,
toxic.
that. Phil now could be the scapegoat of the fighting game community. Everyone crap on guys, call him a dinosaur. Say
Oh my god, dude! Like he shot on Street Fighter 5 and no one attacked him. Like this dude is like, yeah, I shot on Street Fighter 5 and they try and get the assassins on me. Like no one cared.
Anymore. Years later, oh yeah, we all agree. Oh, interesting, right? Very fucking interesting.
Like look how much he like looks for validation in this community. But then when the card people are like, oh, this guy is doing something stupid with the cards. I think it's kind of dumb. He's like, wow, these people are gatekeeping me, and they're just saying what you're doing with the cards is stupid. But look how much he wants them to like welcome him with open arms. and he's sitting there like accusing entire communities, an entire community of like being shills and like dishonest.
So please understand, when I come from these places, like I'm coming from a place of experience. Even though these moronic idiots on the internet have destroyed my reputation in the last decade and say, oh, Phil was never good at fighting games. Blatantly factually false. Phil has no experience, doesn't know what he's talking about. Blatantly factually false. I know what I'm talking about. Street Fighter V was shit. Alright? Maybe the final year or two it was better when Ono was out, but I don't know. I didn't play it then. It was bad for 5 fucking years. So enough with the bullshit of this community always fucking trying to protect itself and fucking hide the truth. Fuck that shit. The game was terrible.
How dare it tries to protect
and
itself?
anyone who fucking pushed it for 5 years was a shill. They were only cared about was their own fucking views and fucking making money. It's stupid. The game was terrible, man. Okay?
Okay, sure. What is this? Oh, this might be when he's trying to shit on LTG, maybe?
Those who are in the fighting game community literally have picked 1 to 2 characters each. Oh, these are my mains. And they just sit there and just play those characters and memorize them and master them. And then they go online and they win because they've mastered those characters. I haven't done that. What have I done? I've picked 11 or more. How many? I think I have it right here. Is it 11 that I picked so far?
Really? He's gonna brag about this? He dropped Mano so fast. Like, he just dropped her like a rock. It's very unfortunate. Because Mano's the GOAT. I will not accept Mano hate. If you hate Mano, you can see the door. He stuck with Geef. He did stick with Geef. He did stick with him for a bit. But notice there's a auto mission. Where's Cammy? She was in Super Turbo. But how's he gonna brag about this?
11 different characters out of the 18. And as you can see, it's a very interesting mixed experience. Some of the characters I've done really well. Some of the characters I've done absolutely terribly. And some I kind of broke even. But the truth is, outside of maybe Blanca and maybe Zangief, I would say, outside of maybe those 2 characters, I don't think I've played enough of any particular character to say that I'm good with them, or even, you know, at a level where I can hang competitive.
Okay, he did brag about his Blanca. He was like, my Blanca's amazing. I can kick anyone's ass with Blanca.
About those people in the fighting game community anymore? No, what's happening? There's a whole new guard that have come up.
Oh, this is it. This will definitely bring back.
Diaphone's a cool guy. I know it's not your passion, but you'll always have a spot in the FGC.
Oh my god, dude, this was short-lived into the button check thing. I like Diaphone. I like his videos. I think he's kind of like a funny guy. Kind of enjoy his stuff, but DSP tried so hard. Oh, not hard actually. He tried harder with button check. Diaphone, he was just kind of like, yeah, but Diaphone, you're cool. Then like, you know, Diaphone moved on. It is interesting. Like Diaphone like did a video with him to use as an example to leap off of, and then he never really continued. Well, no, I lied. He did do other videos that are kind of like what he did with DSP in a way, but you know.
The old guard may cling to their silly grudge. Lots of new talent is eager to teach and to learn. Now, here's the thing.
Oh.
All right, you say the old guard clings to their silly grudge.
They do. No. I don't know how to describe it. Definitely around the button check era, he kind of doubled down on this, where he was upset that people were sharing techniques and stuff like that. This question is highlighting the fact that, like, yeah, the new guard wants to share and this and that, like, and the old guard has petty grudges. Like, obviously not everyone, but there are like a lot of people that are like very miffed about like, I can't believe people are sharing their techniques in fighting games, and it's like, dude, like, shut up.
What I found is that the old guard, a lot of them aren't prominent anymore. Like, you know, people back in the day who really didn't like me, is anyone really talking about those people in the fighting game community anymore? No, what's happening, there's a whole new guard that have come up since the prominence of Street Fighter V. The problem is, I wasn't involved. I hated Street Fighter V. I outright told everyone how much I hated Street Fighter V.
Wait, what?
Whole new guard that have come up since the prominence of Street Fighter V. The problem is, I wasn't involved. I hated Street Fighter V. I outright told everyone how much I hated.
I gotta hear
The
this
old
again.
guard, a lot of them aren't prominent anymore.
Oh.
Like, you know, people back in the day
Okay.
who really didn't like me. Is anyone really talking about those people in the fighting game community anymore?
Oh my god, dude, it's even funnier. In the older videos, he was saying how everyone loved him and everyone was cool, and there were some bad guys too. There were some evil, some stupid people, but people loved me. And now he's like, yeah, people who hate me, they're not prominent anymore. I mean, whatever, man. Like, a lot of people who are in the old guard are not prominent anymore because they're not competing anymore. Maximilian, dude, I don't know if he's still doing tournaments. I don't think he is. He's only prominent in the sense of, like, he is talking about other games now. He's not just talking about fighting games anymore. Like, he's experienced in fighting games, and that's why he's, like, always, like, in that sphere, but he's also doing other things.
No, what's happening, there's a whole new guard that have come up since the prominence of Street Fighter V. The problem is, I wasn't involved. I hated Street Fighter V. I outright told everyone how much I hated Street Fighter V, and I didn't want to play it. And what happened was, it became the meme to just say, Darkside Phil did nothing. He never did anything prominent whatsoever in any fighting game at all. Even though there's documented evidence of me placing Evo.
See, this is silly. Like, again, he's upset that people who are just in the FGC are not, like, giving him props, but it's like he's sitting there, like, just, you know, they're saying, like, DSP's not done anything in the fighting game community. Like, being a TO, I don't think is, like, an amazing accomplishment, because anyone could be a TO. You could be a bad TO and people will, like, fucking remember that, but there are people who are good TOs that people will remember that too. Like, I mean, TO, all you gotta do is you gotta run a tournament correctly and not be an asshole, dude.
Evo and
Or
winning
whatever.
Evo qualifiers the year when I won like 4 different Evo qualifiers.
But,
was
like, no one's
crazy.
talking about
Whenever I
this
went, I was
because
winning
it's
the
not
Super Turbo.
prominent.
The fact that I was a tournament
Like, it's
organizer
not
who
relevant
ran the East Coast
anymore.
championships, who ran other regional events and things, you know. But all that gets erased, and Phil just becomes a meme on the internet just because he's not actively playing fighting games anymore. Oh, I see. So how soon we forget, you know, someone who for 10 plus years dedicated all time, my free time to the
Like, listen, so he's saying this, but I guarantee if you bring up something about the card games that, like, a lot of people know over the years and this and that, it's like, I'm just starting, okay? How am I supposed to know this? And all this other shit. I mean, this is kind of, like, very, very minor, to be honest. I thought this was gonna balloon
community.
more.
But that doesn't count for anything now because you're a bunch of internet memesters, and it's funny now to do that.
But see how but, like, look, people who are new in the FGC that only know because these was known more as a lolcow than as a FGC guy, right? So of course the new generation of the FGC are gonna dog on him because he's a lolcow. Too late, buddy. And then this guy and again, like the card game people who have been in this community so long know he's a lolcow, so they're gonna be like, hey, this guy is doing something stupid with cards. Fancy that. And he's like, wow, these people are so unwelcoming. But look how he's talking about the young FGC. He's saying that they're a bunch of memesters when they don't either know or care about his accomplishments in the FGC, because also the FGC is not some, like, historic organization. Like, you're not gonna get the same props as, like, you know, if you see someone like now that's been, like, in the civil rights movement, like, they have probably more prestige and clout because, get this, they fought for something that's, like, important. Civil rights are important, get that, right? And of course they're gonna have more prestige with what they're doing and how people look at them versus a dude that's in the FGC. Now, this is an apples to oranges comparison, to be fair. I'm not gonna, so, you know, whatever, but look at what the FGC has turned out in the scope of the fighting games and this, that. Not a lot. The only time that something has come out of that is probably, like, other fighting games that are developed by people who care about fighting games, but they also had to make something that's like you can hold in your hand or play or whatever. Just saying I won a tournament is not gonna make people like, oh, you won a tournament? Wow. I mean, that's only gonna be relevant for so long. Like, why do you think not a lot of people talk about people who compete in the Olympics and 1990 or 1994 versus the people who won the gold in 1994. Like, yeah, you competed in the Olympics, but you didn't win the gold, and let alone, like, who's talking about the people who won the gold now? Right?
That shit, right? Like I said, last year, I'm on Twitter, And randomly, I came across someone who posted up a picture of
This is what I was trying to find. This is the drama I was trying to find. So it was in 2022. I know I can narrow it down on Pig Pig Go, but I don't. I think this was in a deleted podcast. I want to say, but whatever. Maybe he's gonna recap it for us
of their
here.
home arcade. And I thought that their home arcade looked pretty impressive. So I responded to it and I said, you know, when I was younger, this is exactly the kind of arcade that I wanted. Literally, this is what I wanted in my house because I was a prominent Street Fighter
He
player.
said something more condescending. I do remember the tweet very vaguely. And I know for a fact it's very condescending how he said it. Like, you could kind of take it as him doing a dig on the guy. But he clearly meant it, to be fair, as, like, you know, a self-reflection more so than, like, shitting on this other person. But it's like, you didn't need to say that. You could have said, oh, no, cool setup, man. And that would have been fine.
Player, and I would have loved to have several cabinets and things like this. But then as I got older, you know, I now find that I'm not interested in this anymore, you know. And now people who really aren't even major prominent fighting game players have this stuff common in their house. They have game rooms and shit, right? So I make this post, and somehow the person takes it as like I was being offensive to them, even though literally I said nothing offensive in the tweet. And they insult me. Haha, well, look, I can run PS1 Super Turbo on the cabinet. That bullshit version that you placed in. Haha, the last time you were prominent.
But again, like, this is just a gag. Like, I mean, people do this a lot.
You know, I'm like,
but again, look how he's reacting. Okay, now I'm kind of, it's coming back to me, guys. Again, if you made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments. Say epic W or whatever. Say whatever. Let me know that you made it this far into the video. But look how he's acting, right? He enters the card community by opening card packs, and people are like, "Well, this guy is doing something stupid," and it seems like he's only in it for the money. And he's like,
These people are so mean. I just want to open card packs.
and this and that. This dude made a tweet that just showed his arcade cabinet, like, "Oh, I have this cool arcade cabinet, dude," and that's all it was. It was just an innocent picture, and all DSP had to say was cool picture, cool arcade cabinet. But he said it in a way that's kind of condescending, like, "Oh yeah, you know, this is pretty cool, but you know, I decided not to. Man, whatever, right? Like, it was just kind of a whatever post, to be fair. But the guy was just making a little jab, because this dude did not compete in tournaments at all for years. You know, and people know of the whole thing about the port situation of Super Turbo, and instead it needs to be like going with it, like, yeah, man, that is kind of funny. He took it as an offense, so like he's shitting on this new guy who's just starting on the FGC, and again, you can find clips of him saying to people like, "Oh, this guy should get thick skin," and this and that, but he's so critical of them, and it's like, okay, so you're like an old FGC head, and you're being super critical of a younger guy, and that's cool. But these people who are poke tubers or card pack tubers, whatever you want to call these guys, when they are critical of you, oh, these people are jealous. These people are a load of shit. I just want to open card packs for the money, for you guys. I mean, sure, he didn't say it for the money, but it's very clear it's for the money. He gets paid to unbox them. He got $2,000 and to unpack them.
Why is so fucked up about these people, right? Again, oh, let me take the opportunity to do an internet meme and make a joke and insult Phil, who literally did not insult the person. He's just gonna do it. Like, why would you do that?
And again, like, the videos I have seen, I feel like shit. Like, there's like one guy, I think it was on That Being Said as well, that kind of did an impression of DSP. So that's like one thing. You could say, sure, that is like, Nick, but again, you could, in context, like, it really isn't that bad. I mean, people have impersonated DSP before. Like, I mean, this isn't the first time someone did that. But even then, like, the other clips of like people like bringing him up, it's just like saying like, yeah, it is kind of like shitty to get paid to unpack cards and then not send them, not ship them as like a way to give back. Like his form of giving back is just opening them and like putting them in like a sleeve that you can't see on camera, whatever. Like that's giving back. Not like sending the card back to someone or whatever. Or anything. Like he could even like do whatever, right? Oh no, he also gives you the QR code. Wow, what a lucky guy that person is, right? All this shit. And when people just simply just call it out and say this is kind of stupid, he's like, they're so toxic and negative. But look how he responds to it. Do this as you're not relevant anymore. Basically, he acted as if the guy said, "Phil, you should drink some bleach, and you're stupid, and you should lose the house."
And that's the sad fact is that's like a lot of the modern FGC, where they're so up their own butts about clout and shit that this is what they do.
And again, he thinks everyone in the FGC's in it for clout. Again, look how he talks about being invested in card games. He never talked about cards before. He mocked people who scalped cards or collected cards for the value. And look what he's doing now. He's getting like binders. He is like he only cares about the value. He got the Yu-Gi-Oh cards that he never seen in an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh at all. I know enough about the duel bullshit, but does DSP know that meme? No. Does he know the meme where like Yugi is like slamming his fist on the thing? I don't remember exactly. I just know that it's like a meme. Whatever. Does he know that? No. Is he gonna know that now? No. But this guy is like is accusing all these people who are just starting the FGC that they're only in it for the clout. But what about him? He got into the card games. He knows nothing of Yu-Gi-Oh! And he knows nothing of cards. He knows nothing of cards. And all he talks about is value, hits, and this and that. And he demands people allow him to learn the hobby. When he's accusing all of these people getting into the FGC as clout chasers.
Any chance that I can take a shot at someone, any chance that I can cause drama, every chance that I can punch someone for no reason, I'll take it. Now I got likes on my fucking tweet. I'm a fucking loser, right? To actually act like that is so immature. And why do you think that people make fun of the FGC? Because of behavior like that. Because people are so not welcoming, and instead they're dickheads to people. Well, guess what? People are going to call you fucking dickheads when you act like that. And that was really unprofessional and really messed up that the person did that.
Unprofessional. But again, if you say DSP is not professional in any shape or form, he's like,
I didn't messing around. I just joking around. Grows up thick skin. Stop being so thin skinned.
All this shit. And then he's the first to call other people unprofessional if they're mean to him. He calls like, I'm sure at some point in these rants about the PokeTubers, he has called them unprofessional. You got these people have all these channels, whatever. I'm sure he has dogged on them in some shape or form. I know he has like shat on them because he called them jealous and all his other bullshit. Because they simply just called out the card shit he's doing as fake. And then here he's like getting butthurt that a dude is like, yeah, I think you're a joke, whatever. And he makes an offhanded slight to him. That's not even that like deep. It's not even a deep cut. People have dogged on about the Super Turbo thing for years. 4 years. Even people in the FGC in his time have dogged on him for that. And did he go on rants? He probably said that they're assholes or whatever. But now he's accusing the modern FGC as like clout chasers because they're dogging on Phil.
Did that to someone like me who I'm not even trying to be a part of the FGC. I'm literally just making an offhand comment about how this is an arcade I would have loved to have in my home back in the day, but now I've changed and I don't really want that anymore. Oh, that's an insult. Let's punch Phil, right?
Let's punch Phil. Like
that's
it's
what
not.
I mean. I feel like that's what
Again,
happened.
it's not even a deep insult. Like he could have just rolled with it. Like, this is the kind of joke you should roll with. Like, if someone's, like, saying that to you online, like, something like that, like if I sucked at, like, let's see. Trying to self-deprecate here, dude. But let's say that, like, I don't know, whatever. But I mean, regardless, like, this is a nothing insult. Like, you can, like, roll with this. It's not like the guy is sitting there like, yeah, at least these arcade machines are more fun to play with. At least I have more fun playing with these arcade cabinets than you have with your wife. Like, that's a little mean. But, like, this thing is, like, something he's been told before. Like, he could easily just be like, and he said he doesn't care. He has said he doesn't care in old videos.
Happened in the last since Street Fighter 4 and since esports became a part of the Street Fighter community, right? Basically what's happened is now it's all about clout. It really is. It's about clout and getting internet clout. So now you hope you get signed. Now you hope you make big money. Now you hope that you can win the tournaments. And now
clearly, the dude shat on DSP so someone would sign him. like you go to a company and they're like, oh, you want to sign as a team? Okay. Did you make fun of DSP the legal amount of times? And he's like, yeah, man, look at this. Like, okay, that was a funny dig. Okay, we'll sign you. You got the clout. Like, no. This is such a dumb statement.
You made it big. None of that shit existed back when I played Street Fighter. None. It was just for the love of the game and for bragging rights online. Like any
bragging rights, but isn't that a form of clout? And again, we saw these old videos of him saying that, oh, back then people were throwing matches, sharing the pat, all this shit. And I was like, yeah, back then it was gross. Everyone loved each other. And now, like, anything to shit on the new FGC, anything to do that. Like, he's so toxic to the new FGC. Like he refused to give any clout or any respect. The only person he gave respect to was Sonic Fox, and it's probably because like, Sonic Fox wore a fursuit, and that became a hot topic, and he wanted to seem like the inclusive guy. So of course he's gonna say, "Oh, Sonic Fox is he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool." All this shit doesn't mean any of it though.
Like anyone cared who the hell was the best at Street Fighter when there was no money in it, right? It was just for fun, and it just drives me nuts to see how Street Fighter has changed, and now it's all about the big corporate thing and everything. It's like, what the fuck, man? You know? So that's what I mean. Like,
but again, he was there when it was a corporate thing. The Cannon Brother, like, you can listen to his own fucking nonsense. The Cannon Brothers, for the Cannon Brothers to silence Phil, to sell to Capcom, it already sounds like they were already, like, corporate, because they were trying to placate the Capcom overlords, right? Like, this is, like, complete nonsense.
I don't really feel that today there's a big grudge against me in the FGC because of shit that happened back in the day. I think what's happened is there's just a young people who just believe I'm just some internet meme. They don't want to actually go back and realize I'm actually was good at Street Fighter at one point.
See, he wants the FGC. If you're gonna join the FGC, you have to research Phil. You gotta research his accomplishments and do all this research, which is unreasonable. But if the card community says Phil should do some research on cards, do you feel like,
why should I have to learn? It's just a hobby. I'm doing it for fun.
All this stuff. When it's him, he's doing it for fun. Leave him alone. Let him fuck around. Let him, like, shit on the cards. He can burn the cards on fire. Whatever. He can do whatever he wants. Even though, like, these cards could have been in someone's hands that actually loves the games, right? But it's in his little greasy hooves. But when people in the FGC, they're like, oh, these things are doo-doo, and you should do hours of research and realize I was a TO, and I was amazing, and everyone loved me. And it's like, no, man, they just want to play fighting games, and you're mostly known as a lol cow. That's why they're gonna dog on you. Like, they're not gonna do the research because they're not gonna care. They don't care because they'd much rather talk about the game they like playing and competing than, oh, I gotta research what DSP is all about. Meanwhile, when the card community is like doing the same shit to him, he's like, why do they want me to learn the games? I don't need to learn. Like, people were asking him, Phil, are you gonna learn how to play card games? Are you gonna learn how to play Pokemon, the card game? Like, well, I don't want to learn. I just want to open the packs and talk about the hits and on the values and this and that. Mostly the hits. He hides behind that. He wants the hype moments of getting the hits. But it's really just the value. Again, he leveraged getting One Piece because he was thinking about the value of getting them.
I mean, I'm not anymore, but I was. And to erase that is incredibly disrespectful to the past in general. You know, it happened. You can't just ignore the past, act like it didn't happen just for the sake of getting a laugh. You know, what the fuck is wrong with you? And that's how people treat me. Like, oh, his legacy on YouTube means nothing. 15 years of content creation, oh, it's just piss in a bucket. It means
Again, if you try to tell him that about a PokeTuber, like, oh, this PokeTuber was around since the beginning of the Pokemon card games, he would say, big whoop, who cares? All the time. But when you're getting to the FGC, you have to, like, fucking study up and learn about DSP. Like, you have to go to school for fighting games. Like, that's what he's saying. But man, if you ask him to learn how to play Pokemon, that's asking way too much. You're asking Phil way too much, buddy.
Means nothing. Oh, he used to be a fucking Street Fighter player. Fuck him. He only played PS1 Super Turbo, which is, you know, completely untrue. But this is how people act. That's honestly what turns me off from wanting to engage with the modern FGC. That kind of attitude, that kind of behavior. And then you get someone like Diaphone, who's actually a really nice guy to me. And I'm like, what happened?
Again, the iPhone was nice to him because he just wanted to make a video to express an idea he had to do a series on. It wouldn't have served him to be like, okay, guys, I want to do a video series where I can teach you how to like play the game good. Okay, so we're gonna look at DSP. This guy's a piece of shit, by the way. Fuck this guy. He's stupid. He's a doo-doo head, and everyone go to DSP Gaming and say he's a doo-doo head. Like, he's not gonna do that. He's just gonna sit there and, like, express, like, why he wants to, like, he can help people, like, learn the game. I mean, you can kind of take it negatively because he chose DSP as the vehicle to teach scrubs how to play a fighting game. You know, whatever. But it is in a positive light. Like, that was, like, the whole thing. And he's like, wow, Diaphone's a positive guy. Yeah, there are positive, like, again, he said this in a past video. Yeah, there are people in the FGC that are cool people and shitty people, but he does not extend that to the new FGC. He only thinks Diaphone and Bunchuck are the only nice people in the new FGC, when in reality, there's probably a lot of nice people in the FGC, but there's also a lot of shitty people in the FGC right now. Like, that's just how it is. There's good people and there's shitty people, like, but this guy is so quick to dog on entire people who are just trying fighting games because they don't know the past, they don't respect the medium, and this and that. Meanwhile, when the card game community is doing the same shit to him, he's like, this is fucked up. Isn't it funny that when he's on the receiving end, it's terrible and it should stop and see how stupid these people are? But when he's also doing that kind of behavior, that's fine and that should be accepted. Like, it really is, like, kind of, you can express how much you love gatekeeping, right? Oh, gatekeeping is good because we get the riffraff out of our communities. But then, if you try to enter something, and they gatekeep you, and you start being like, these people are fucked up, they're gatekeeping me, this is bullshit! Like, you sound like it, you sound silly. Like, you can, there's, like, gradients, but again, you're not getting that with DSP. There's no nuance. Like, the fact that Diaphone is, like, an epiphany moment for Phil, and he's like, what the fuck? That just shows how little nuance he exercises with anything. Because, as I said, like, gatekeeping is a very interesting thing, because you can see it being used in, like, ways that's like, yeah, we want to gatekeep people who are disingenuous with this, but you can also see it as it being used toxically. Like, there is, like, an extreme to this stuff. Like, that's why I say, like, you know, like, look, you can gatekeep all you want, but just, like, if someone is just expressing an interest in something, you don't need to rip your hair and yell at them. Like, let them, like, explore it and all this kind of stuff. Like, that's all you need to do, but you don't get that with Phil. You're not getting that from him. He'll only say that if you are yelling at him, then he'll be like, guys, we can all be cool, man. It's all peace and love until he's angry.
I don't know, but it was nice. It was a breath of fresh air. Thank you, Brad, for the super chat.
So there's that. I think that kind of like summarizes my view pretty succinctly. Let's go to another video. Let's see, I've been doing this for like 2 hours.
Those in the competitive fighting game community, but they don't want to talk about that, okay? So, one of the things that I have said about Street Fighter 6 is that I felt that there is a upper echelon of characters in the game that all play very similarly, that are going to likely be the early top tier of the game, and at this point in the game are pretty overpowered. Now, I'm not saying that once the game develops further and the meta is developed and everything, that people won't find workarounds and or ways to stop it, but just early on, all right? Early on, it seems like there was a grouping of characters that seemed kind of unfair. Jury, DJ, Luke, and Ken are probably the 4 biggest offenders, and then there's some characters that are kind of hybrids in between there. What I mean by this is these are characters who are all fast. They have really high priority.
Okay, I'm not listening to talk about like fucking Street Fighter 6. I don't need to hear this. But yeah, there's a lot. There's quite a lot. What is this? Let's see this.
It's affecting the fighting game community really badly. Right now, especially tournament organizers are going crazy. Like, what do I do? I had a whole tournament planned around Xbox, and now the Xboxes aren't going to work. So,
Okay,
FYI, heads up.
this. Okay, I don't care about that. Let's go to DSP Gaming. Let's see if he's live or in chat. Is he in chat? No. Oh, let's switch to live chat. Good morning, y'all. But that's not DSP. That's not Phil. That's not Phil. Let's go to the post tab. Let's see if he made any posts. No. All he said was, weird thing just happened, like this and that. I kind of feel low-key DSP wished the game came out Friday, because if it did, I know what he would have done Sunday. He would still play S Creed on Sunday, and he would say, guys, I'm not gonna play Tokon because everyone learned the meta. As you guys know, people learn the meta over time. Because, like, even, let's see. Oh, wait. I'm trying to find the schedule before he found out that it was coming out on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said it was coming out, like, Friday. But now it seems like he knew it was coming out on Thursday. I don't know, I'm confused. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. But yeah. I think he would have hit us with, guys, you know everyone's gonna learn the meta of Tokon. I'm not gonna play it. Because then it's just gonna be a slap fight, or whatever the fuck. But whatever. So yeah, this might not have been my greatest video ever, and whatever. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and tell you that this is a great video, but I hope you understand my point I was making. I think you kind of understood by the end. But yeah, like he is so mad that the card community, it was trying to like gatekeep him from their hobby. They were criticizing how he was handling it, all that kind of stuff, which isn't any different from how DSP acts about the FTC. He did not believe in the whole camaraderie thing, because he was like, well, back then, like, we just played it for fun, and this, that, and then he starts, you see, like, a little bit in that Diaphone segment where he's like, yeah, now it's just about clout, now they're doing it for the money, now they're doing it to get a name for themselves, when it's like, how do you know that? The card community can accuse DSP of getting into the cards just for the value proposition, just to get money for them. That's what they've been accusing him of. They're like, oh, he's just trying to open the card packs for money. He doesn't really care. And he says that they're jealous. They're jealous that he got a Pikachu or whatever the fuck. And it's like, no, man. they're watching your stream and they think this is stupid, that's what they're calling out. Like, they don't care that much about him doing this as much as they just think it's dumb. And he's taken as if like they're like out to get him now or some shit. Like they want to make him a pariah and blacklist him from card companies or something. And it's like that's not what's gonna happen here. And it's just that's what they're calling him. They're calling him a grifter because it's just there's no genuine care. Again, you go through all these cards and it's just him talking about, oh my god, guys, this is a hit, guys. This is a hit, guys. I think this is a hit, guys. Guys, we got card packs coming, and it's always about like how much money he makes. Like the amount of times that he talks about cards and money in the same sense is like so quickly. And it's like, of course, the card community is gonna call it out. He's sitting there acting as if this is that they would never do that. If it was anyone else, they would never do that. If I started collecting cards, like because at the time before DSP got his grubby hands on cards, they were saying that about the scalpers. Oh, the scalpers are only scalping for the money. They're only getting the card packs for the money. But now you have a guy that's buying these cards and supporting scalpers to do this and getting paid to do this, and that's like a whole other thing on top of that. That's a whole other level of grifting that DSP's not gonna accept because he's doing it out of fun for his streams, and that's how he feels. Fine, but people can say this is stupid. And that's what they've been doing. But then you look at the FGC stuff, and he's like, "Oh, this guy said that I am an idiot. Wow, this guy is only in it for the clout." He accused the guy who made that joke about the Super Turbo machine doing it for the clout to get signed. And it's like, you really think he made fun of you to get signed? All that shit? No. He probably got signed because he played the game. Get that, right? And he keeps accusing the FGC now of doing it for the money, all this stuff. Like, he's very cynical about the FGC in general. When it was before the new FGC, he would say back then it was all this drama, all this like notice during that period everything back then was all drama related. Oh, it's drama this, drama that. Now it's just suddenly, oh, it was grassroots, the Wild West. We did it for the love of it. Now it's bad. Now it's just cloud chasing and this and that. All this stuff. He's so judgmental about the FGC now and calls him unprofessional. But when the card games give him the same medicine that he has given the young FGC, oh, that's too far and that's negative. Again, as I said, this is like behavior you see of people who are the loudest about gatekeeping, and they boast about how we should keep gatekeeping people, get mad when they are the ones getting gatekept in the same sentence. It's like instantly. And it's like, okay, well then maybe don't bitch about gatekeeping then if it's a problem. If you don't want to be gatekept, then maybe don't complain about it, or maybe understand why they're trying to gatekeep you out. Like, it's some of self-reflection on some people. Like, if you're in it for genuinely, then you can work past people gatekeeping you because you're gonna eventually like not be attacked by people and being called a LARPer. They're gonna move on if you're genuine about what you're talking about. Again, like, there's a time and place to gatekeep people, sure. DSP has earned a spot in the uncharitable camp. I am not willing to be charitable. In any case, like, if DSP suddenly wants to be interested in Guilty Gear, I'm not going to take that genuinely. It's just going to sound as if he tried these other fighting games and they all didn't work for him and he hated them and he just wants to try to get into Guilty Gear for some way to kind of reclaim some clout of him being a fighting game player, or to prove that he respects Guilty Gear. Like, that's the kind of guy DSP is. He has not earned any good faith aspect of it. Like, anyone that I if I have an inkling, let's say, that someone may not be a genuine fan of something, even then, if I'm just talking to them and I think to myself, maybe this guy isn't like a genuine fan, I will still allow them to continue talking about something and then see how far they can go with it, see if they like it, whatever. but I'm not gonna like gatekeep them off the bat. But DSP is that guy where I would just recommend everyone gatekeep him because he's not genuine. He's the most fake person ever. Again, you can even go with how he views social justice and PC. I mean, that's even the beginning of the video. It kind of illustrated that. He talked about, oh, I understand about why that we evolve as a community, and I understand that we're a global society, and like words have meaning, and this and that. And then you fast forward to the crash out about why people should allow him to say the R word. It's like, yeah, it's very clear you do not give a fuck about these social things or movements or anything because you just care. All he cared about was just being seen as just a guy that's not problematic. He's not a racist. He's not a bigot. Whatever. And again, I've said this before. I don't think he's a bigot. I just think he's very ignorant. He's a very ignorant person where he will believe just enough people if you tell him like some story that's not fully like I'm just going very light here with the hot coffee lawsuit, right? You tell him about that, he'll probably believe it's a stupid lawsuit. He will not look beyond that. He will not look beyond what actually happened. Why was the coffee so hot? How hot was the coffee? He's not looking beyond, oh my gosh, he's suing a company for hot coffee. That's stupid. But he's not going to look beyond that. That's the kind of guy DSP is. He's not going to look beyond the surface level of what he's reading, or even be open to the idea that there might be, that he could be wrong in what he thinks, or whatever. And sure, he doesn't have to learn everything. He doesn't have to be a scholar in anything. But he should also be open to, to look more into something if he's wrong, whatever. But point is, he is a very set in his ways and fake kind of guy. He doesn't believe in anything. He'll tell you one thing and say something else the next day, and it trickles out even into this, where he will want to gatekeep the FGC from the new FGC because these people are like only in it for the clout and money, but he doesn't want to be gatekept from the card community because that's fucked up and evil. Why are they trying to gatekeep me from cards? Even though he supports scalpers, which is seen negatively in the card community, he does not give back to the community at all with these cards, and gets paid to opening packs. Like, these are things that they see as just greed. And again, he only talks about the value proposition. Like, this is why I've said this even to other people, like, if you're collecting in the sake of having a collection, I think it's fine if you care about the subject. Like, if you like Pokemon and you want to collect Pokemon cards, I think that's fine. Like, you like the material, you like Pokemon and all this stuff. I can understand that. But when it's like you're only in for the value proposition and you don't care about like anything else, like, that is kind of fucked up. And it's like you're not in it for the love, and you're kind of cock blocking other people who may have like enjoyed those cards more to have in their own collection or to play with them or whatever. It's like the debate with figures, but figures are in an art form. Like, they are an art because they're sculpted and all this other stuff. They're not action figures. I mean, there are action figures, don't get me wrong, but there is like figures that are made to sit on a wall and not be played with. But these are like, again, you can find cheap figures that are just meant for people who just want to have a light collection and they just want to have something on their shelf or whatever. That it's that kind of thing. And DSP is just not that kind of guy. He's not into this kind of stuff. He's only in it for, oh my god, guys, look at the hit we got. And this had to get another dopamine hit. He talked about doing this for WWE Champions, and see, guys, I didn't spend this much money. Like, he bragged about how he didn't spend enough money in Champions when he played it. But look how he's doing this. He's not even playing the card games. He may or may not even sell the cards. I mean, that's not even relevant in my opinion, because it doesn't matter. He can do either. He can get scammed by trading them in at GameStop, or he'll just throw them in the closet, whatever. Either way, he's not getting the full value of these cards. It's just he's sitting on these cards, and that's all he's doing. So it's just nonsense. And he has this same attitude, but look how much of a fake person he is. So that's it for this expedition video. If you, I guess, I will ask this: what do you guys want more expedition style videos, where I just look into stuff, see where it goes, see if it ties into anything I want to talk about, whatever. Let me know if that's what you'd like to see. I don't know if they will all be this long, but I think this is a good place to end it before it gets kind of ridiculous. So I hope it was a fun trip down the memory of all of these little segments, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.